Chapter 372. The originally trembling burial realm once again fell into silence. Although the 6 seals couldn't seal the burial realm forever, it was no problem to maintain it for at least a few decades or 100 years. Although for cultivators, a few decades or 100 years wasn't considered long. But at that time, Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation would have probably reached an extremely terrifying level. At that time, wouldn't it be easy to sweep through the burial realm? Therefore, Jun Xiaoyao didn't care if the sealing time was too short. As long as he was given time, even if the burial realm broke the seal, he could still suppress everything. Seeing burial realm being sealed again, the creatures of burial earth who had already escaped felt all sorts of mixed feelings. Who would have thought that the burial realm that was destined to break the seal would be sealed again by Jun Xiaoyao alone? He had done what his father had done before. Like father, like son, this saying was true. Young master's methods, Li Xian is impressed. Li Xian cupped his fists and was really convinced. Although Li Xian agreed before, he more or less had some doubts in his heart. But now, all the problems had vanished into thin air. No need to be like this. This burial realm wasn't sealed by me alone, but by the strength of everyone. Jun Xiaoyao didn't take all the credit for himself. Now that the crisis was resolved and the burial realm was sealed, Jun Xiaoyao also obtained the 9 Wonders Reincarnation Immortal Grass. This trip to the eternal burial realm could be considered to have ended perfectly. Jun Xiaoyao's goals were all achieved. But Jun Xiaoyao wasn't prepared to leave directly. Instead, he wanted to digest the great opportunity of the living being's reincarnation pool. Next, Jun Xiaoyao also asked Li Xian and the others for their thoughts. Li Xian still wanted to continue guarding the 10,000 spirits graveyard. Jun Xiaoyao didn't advise anything. This was Li Xian's display of loyalty. Moreover, the burial realm indeed needed a powerhouse to guard it. If there were any problems, they could be contacted in time. Jun Xiaoyao's gaze looked into the depths of the burial realm. Although Li Xian didn't tell him the secrets of the burial realm. However, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to be able to see his father, God King Jun Wuhui. Back then, he had single-handedly swept through the burial realm, fighting against the great terror within. Jun Xiaoyao was indeed very strong now, but he was only invincible among the younger generation. What Jun Xiaoyao needed to do next was to surpass his peers step by step and even compete with the experts of the older generation. One of these days, I'll go deep into the burial world and meet those terrifying existences. There's also the reason why the eternal burial earth was created, and why Father sealed the burial realm away. I will unravel these secrets one day. Jun Xiaoyao swore in his heart. With his current strength, even if he knew the secret of burial realm, he still wouldn't be able to help Jun Wuhui. Therefore, becoming stronger was the only thing Jun Xiaoyao needed to do. After the burial realm was sealed, the creatures in the outside world didn't leave. They were still immersed in shock. A self-deprecating smile appeared on Lang Huan's face. Your Highness, what's wrong? Qin Xianer noticed and asked with concern. Xianer, I thought that I was good enough for young Master Jun. Now, it seems that I thought too highly of myself. Lang Huan smiled bitterly and shook her head. It was hard to imagine that Lang Huan, who was ranked second on the burial earth beauty list, could say such words. Qin Xianer wanted to comfort her, but she found that it was indeed the case. Jun Xiaoyao's excellence left them in the dust. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao prepared to enter the reincarnation pool to cultivate. However, before that, he looked at the ghost-masked burial emperor. Previously, the ghost-masked burial emperor said that she had something to talk to him about. When the ghost-masked burial emperor saw Jun Xiaoyao's gaze, she turned and walked away. Jun Xiaoyao also followed. Li Xian and Ajio were tactful and didn't ask anything. In a quiet place, the ghost-masked burial emperor stopped. Jun Xiaoyao also stopped at the same time. I'm curious. Who are you? The ghost-masked Burial Emperor had her back facing Jun Xiaoyao as she asked. The Burial Emperor was wearing a black dress. She was tall and slender, like a mysterious and magnificent black rose. Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao said word by word. Really? The ghost-masked Burial Emperor asked. Otherwise, Jun Xiaoyao said. When I woke up from my slumber, I was already a powerful Burial Emperor. However, in my memory there were some scenes. Was it my previous life or something else? The ghost-masked Burial Emperor asked. Jun Xiaoyao didn't really understand the relationship between the ghost-masked Burial Emperor and the ghost-masked girl and the ghost-masked woman. However, they had one thing in common, which was that they could use the power of the red spider lily. As for the red spider lily, Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but think of the foreign realm. It was rumored that in the foreign realm, there was an emperor clan called the Red Spider Lily. It was a plant-type power, and its main body was the red spider lily that bloomed in the Yellow Springs. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't know much about the foreign realm, so he couldn't deduce anything. Karma is intertwined. Whether it's true or false, I don't know either. However, I can promise that if I find out the truth in the future, I will definitely come and find you. Jun Xiaoyao said. Since the ghost-masked Burial Emperor had extended a helping hand, Jun Xiaoyao would naturally return the favor. In the future, if he found out the truth about the ghost-masked girl, he would naturally tell her. However, I have another request. The ghost-masked Burial Emperor suddenly spoke. However, her tone was a little unnatural and intermittent, as if she had lost some of her previous coldness. What is it? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes revealed doubt. There was something wrong with the ghost-masked Burial Emperor's tone. Can you hug this emperor? When the ghost-masked Burial Emperor said this, her back was still facing Jun Xiaoyao. However, that slightly trembling voice clearly showed that the Burial Emperor's heart was not calm. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, was rather stunned. He never thought that the ghost-masked Burial Emperor would actually make such a request. What kind of existence was the ghost-masked Burial Emperor? The strongest expert of the Burial Earth 10 regions, the noble and cold Ice Queen. She was an existence that all the men in the Burial Earth 10 regions feared and admired. This kind of ruthless Ice Queen actually asked for a hug? This was too much of a contrast, right? If the other creatures of the Burial Earth saw this scene, they would probably doubt their lives. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but think that the ghost-masked Burial Emperor might really be an iceberg type of tsundere. If you don't want to, then forget it. The ghost-masked Burial Emperor's figure moved and was about to leave. Wait. Jun Xiaoyao spoke. The Burial Emperor stopped in her tracks. If the queen is willing to lend a helping hand, I am grateful. This matter is just a small matter. Jun Xiaoyao said. As long as she didn't covet his body, anything was fine. Hugging wouldn't make her pregnant. Jun Xiaoyao stepped forward and hesitated for a moment, but he still gently wrapped his arms around the Burial Emperor's waist. If it was anyone else who had the chance to get close to the Burial Emperor, they would probably be extremely excited, and wouldn't even be able to control their hands. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was very calm, without any excitement. The Burial Emperor's body was very cold, like a piece of ice. When Jun Xiaoyao hugged her, her jade-like body trembled slightly, as if she had been electrocuted. A warmth that he hadn't felt in a long time spread out. However, in the next moment, Jun Xiaoyao let go of his hand. There was a trace of inexplicable disappointment in the Burial Emperor's heart. However, she still said, "Thank you. When I find out the truth in the future, I will come and find you again." Jun Xiaoyao turned around and left without any reluctance. After a long while, the ghost-masked Burial Emperor sighed faintly. She lifted the ghost mask on her face slightly with one hand. The corner of her jade-like face under the mask was already bright red. The ghost-masked Burial Emperor would also blush. The red spider lily blooms in the 7-colored sky. The flower falls and becomes an immortal for 1,000 years. I don't want to become an immortal, I only want to wait for your return in the vast mortal world. The female burial empress put on the ghost face mask again. Her body moved and disappeared without a trace. Chapter 373. After the matter of the female burial emperor was over, Jun Xiaoyao also returned to the pool of reincarnation. This was because the burial realm was sealed by Jun Xiaoyao with the 6 seals against immortals. Therefore, as long as Jun Xiaoyao was willing, he could let anyone enter and exit the burial realm freely. Li Xian had to guard the all-spirits graveyard as the tomb keeper. Jiu naturally followed Jun Xiaoyao. She would leave whenever Jun Xiaoyao left. After solving all the problems, Jun Xiaoyao could also cultivate and break through in the pool of reincarnation with peace of mind. Jun Xiaoyao had a hunch that this cultivation would be a great improvement for him. Other people breaking through realms were like constipation, but Jun Xiaoyao was like a waterfall. The reason why Jun Xiaoyao was confident was that the energy of the pool of reincarnation was extremely pure and strange. He also asked Li Xian. This pool of reincarnation seemed to be built by some great horror in the depths of the burial realm a long time ago. Jun Xiaoyao directly entered the pool of reincarnation, then used the god-devouring demonic technique and the heaven and earth furnace to begin absorbing and refining the entire pool of reincarnation. Ordinary geniuses might not be able to absorb any more after absorbing a very small portion. Jun Xiaoyao's physical body, however, allowed him to almost digest the entire pool of reincarnation. After all, although the sacred body of the ancients was powerful, it consumed more resources to break through realms. This pool of reincarnation could solve this problem. As Jun Xiaoyao immersed himself in cultivation, the entire burial realm finally fell into peace. However, the entire 10 regions of the eternal burial realm could not calm down. After all, the things that happened in the burial realm were too big. Jun Xiaoyao killed the celestial tyrant body. The burial realm was broken, and the burial emperors were born. The tomb keeper, Li Xian, one of the king of gods 8, appeared. 9 burial emperors fell. In the end, the burial realm was sealed again by Jun Xiaoyao. Each and every one of these incidents, individually, was enough to shake the world. Not to mention that it happened all at once. This kind of explosive news was enough to turn the entire burial ground upside down. During this period of time, all living beings in the 10 realms of burial earth referred to him as the son of God of the Jun clan. Now, Jun Xiaoyao was not only famous in the Huangtian mystic realm, but also in the eternal burial ground. His actions would be recorded in the epic of the burial earth. The attitude of the burial earth beings towards Jun Xiaoyao was no longer hatred. It was powerlessness. That's right, it was a sense of helplessness that came from the bottom of his heart. No one in the younger generation was a match for Jun Xiaoyao. As for the older generation experts, they were protected by Li Xian, the ghost-masked woman, and the burial emperor. The entire 10 regions of burial earth couldn't do anything to Jun Xiaoyao. It was hard to imagine that the Jun Xiaoyao, who was only at the divine flame realm, actually made the entire eternal burial earth powerless. No one dared to provoke Jun Xiaoyao after they accepted the reality of the situation. Even the other burial emperors of the Nether King Palace, the Corpse Dragon Clan, and other forces didn't think of revenge. The only chance for revenge was to wait for the day when the burial realm was completely unsealed. In the blink of an eye, several months had passed. The storm in the entire 10 regions of burial earth gradually calmed down. Jun Xiaoyao had become the most talked about topic of the burial earth beings. At this moment, the atmosphere in the Huangtian mystic realm was subtle. Because the eternal burial earth was isolated from the Huangtian mystic realm. Therefore, it was impossible for the major events that happened in the burial earth to spread to the Huangtian mystic realm. In addition, several months had passed. Many people guessed that Jun Xiaoyao had met with an accident in the eternal burial earth. This guess was very reasonable and normal. After all, the eternal burial earth was a taboo land for the people of the mystic realm. However, recently, the news of Jun Xiaoyao's death in the burial earth suddenly spread. It seemed that there was a hidden hand behind the scenes pushing the public opinion. Did the son of God of the Jun family really die in the eternal burial earth? It's impossible. It's been a few months and he hasn't come out yet. The immortal ancient world is about to open. Indeed, with the son of God of the Jun family's personality, he definitely wouldn't miss the immortal ancient world. But he hasn't come out yet. There must be a big problem. What a pity. A heaven's favorite who could have dominated this era lost his future because of his own recklessness. More and more places in the 3,000 mystical states of the Huangtian mystic realm were discussing this matter. Although some people didn't quite believe it, Jun Xiaoyao hadn't appeared for a few months after all. As the most famous and eye-catching genius in the Huangtian mystic realm, the fact that there was no news of him for a few months meant a lot. This feeling was like a popular celebrity who was on the hot search list every day suddenly disappeared for a few months. Everyone would think that there was an accident. Qingzhou, the Jiang family of the ancients' residence. Many members of the Jiang family were discussing this matter in private. However, the upper echelons of the Jiang family didn't say anything. The young master will be fine. That's right. With the young master's strength, he can do well even in the eternal burial earth. None of the members of the Jiang family believed the rumors. In their eyes, Jun Xiaoyao was an invincible existence. Moreover, if something really happened to Jun Xiaoyao, the first one who couldn't sit still would be Jiang Daoxiu and the others. But now, the entire Jiang family was very calm. On a cliff, a peerless beauty in snow-white clothes stood in the wind. She was like a jade tree piled with snow. The breeze blew the hair on her temples, dazzling her picturesque face. Her limpid eyes stared at the far west in a daze. That direction was the direction of the barbarian state, which was also the direction of the eternal burial earth. This woman was Jiang Shengyi. When she didn't have any worries in her heart, Jiang Shengyi cultivated wholeheartedly. She never knew what it meant to pass a day like a year. But now, Jiang Shengyi experienced it. Jiang Shengyi knew in her heart that Jun Xiaoyao should be fine now. But she was still worried in her heart. Suddenly, a mumbling voice sounded behind her. Sister Shengyi, are you spacing out again? Luoli, Jiang Shengyi retracted her gaze. The voice of the petite Linglong behind her was Jiang Luoli. She sat on the edge of the cliff and rested her chin on her hand. She also looked toward the far west. The immortal ancient world is about to open. Big brother Xiaoyao hasn't returned yet. Don't worry, Xiaoyao will be fine, Jiang Shengyi said confidently. Jiang Luoli suddenly said, Sister Shengyi, big brother Xiaoyao seems to be very good to you. Previously, when the Wang family's young emperor wanted to marry you, big brother Xiaoyao was the first to stand up and oppose it. Jiang Luoli's words made Jiang Shengyi's heart skip a beat. If it were someone else, Xiaoyao would probably do the same, Jiang Shengyi said with a forced smile. Jiang Luoli's big eyes turned slightly. She nodded and said, Yes, big brother Xiaoyao is actually such a person who is cold on the outside but warm on the inside. So, Luoli will never let go. Jiang Luoli stood up and patted the dust off her skirt. She gave Jiang Shengyi a big smile. 2 deep dimples appeared on her cheeks. Then, Jiang Luoli left. Did this girl notice? Jiang Shengyi looked at Jiang Luoli's back as she skipped away. Her expression was gloomy. Chapter 374. Jiang Luoli might seem like a naive girl in front of Jun Xiaoyao. But that didn't mean that Jiang Luoli was stupid. On the contrary, she was very smart. She might have sensed something. Jiang Shengyi found it hard to say. After all, she and Jiang Luoli were very close. They were like sisters. Moreover, it was indeed Jiang Luoli who had taken a liking to Jun Xiaoyao first. All in all, the situation was very complicated. A triangle might not be stable. A polygon was even more impossible. Forget it. I just hope that Xiaoyao can make it back before the immortal ancient world opens, Jiang Shengyi prayed in her heart. The immortal ancient world was one of the most important opportunities before the Emperor Road opened. It was also the best opportunity for the current generation of Sky Prides to improve their strength. If Jun Xiaoyao missed this opportunity, he would be slower than others. This was something that Jiang Xingyi didn't want to see. To a large extent, Jun Xiaoyao went to the burial ground because of her. On the other side of the Jiang family, Hua Yuanxiu and Jiang Chuhan were cultivating. The immortal ancient world is about to open. If Jun Xiaoyao can't make it back in time, it will be troublesome, Hua Yuanxiu said with a faint smile. Why do I feel like you're gloating? Jiang Chuhan frowned and said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao was not only the son of God of the Jun family, but also the young master of the Jiang family. Hua Yuanxiu wasn't worried at all. Instead, he had such an attitude. Of course not. I also hope that he can gain something in the burial ground. It would be best if he can break through to the true immortal realm. That way, he won't have to come to the immortal ancient world. Hua Yuanxiu laughed. No matter how one listened to it, those words sounded strange and sarcastic. Are you being sarcastic? When the young master entered the burial ground, he was only in the heaven ascension realm. The environment of the burial ground is not suitable for humans in the immortal realm to cultivate. How could he reach the true immortal realm? Jiang Chuhan frowned even more. Hua Yuanxiu was an old man. Aren't I just following your wishes? In your eyes, Jun Xiaoyao is an invincible existence in the younger generation. So what if he breaks through to the true divinity boundary? Maybe he can even defeat all the prodigies in the burial ground and turn the burial ground upside down? Who knows, he might even be powerful enough to kill a burial earth supreme being. Hua Yuanxiu's tone was dripping with sarcasm. In the end, he couldn't help but sneer. You are too much. Jiang Chuhan stood up and left. Hua Yuanxiu's mockery was truly disgusting. Looking at Jiang Chuhan's departing figure, Hua Yuanxiu's face darkened. Ever since Jun Xiaoyao came, Chuhan no longer treated me like she used to. Although Jiang Chuhan had not been intimate with Hua Yuanxiu in the past, her attitude towards him was not bad. Ever since Jun Xiaoyao had arrived and defeated him in one move, he had been in a daze. Jiang Chuhan was getting colder and colder towards Hua Yuanxiu. This made Hua Yuanxiu extremely unhappy. Jun Xiaoyao, I hope you will never leave the burial ground. This way, after the immortal ancient world, the position of young master will still fall to me, and Chu Han will still be willing to marry me. Hua Yuanxiu's eyes were deep. The entire Jiang family was peaceful. The Jun family was also peaceful. Although the outside world was full of rumors, saying that Jun Xiaoyao had died in the burial ground. However, no one in the Jun family believed it. Their recognition and trust of Jun Xiaoyao would not be shaken by any rumors. Jun Xiaoyao's followers, Yu, Yan Qingying, and the others were also cultivating and preparing for the immortal ancient world. The 10 sequences of the Jun family were also cultivating in seclusion and preparing seriously. The immortal ancient world was a great opportunity. If they didn't take advantage of this opportunity to grow, they would fall behind when the Emperor Road opened. This was an era of great competition, far more intense than any previous era. When the time came, all kinds of ancient freaks, the sleeping princes, and the descendants of ancient emperors would appear. The current generation of geniuses would be severely suppressed. Without a great opportunity, it would be difficult to compete with those geniuses. Of course, everyone couldn't help but think of Jun Xiaoyao. Among all the geniuses, he was the youngest. However, even the ancient freaks were defeated by him. If the son of God of the Jun family doesn't participate in the immortal ancient world, his legend of being invincible among the younger generation may be shattered. One wrong step leads to many wrong steps. The son of God of the Jun family has chosen the path that he shouldn't have chosen. The atmosphere in the entire Huangtian mystic realm was not calm. After another 2 months, Many illusions suddenly appeared in the sky above the 3,000 mystical states of the Huangtian mystic realm. These illusions seemed to be a small world full of celestial qi. There were plains, mountains, deserts, broken palaces, ancient forbidden lands, strange beasts, and so on. This scene was like a mirage, and it was extremely strange. This is the mirage of the immortal ancient world. This is the sign of the opening of the immortal ancient world. Many old antiques looked up at the mirage in the sky and mumbled to themselves. Before the opening of the immortal ancient world, such mirages would appear. Within a few months, the entrance to the immortal ancient world would open. With the appearance of the mirage of the immortal ancient world, the entire Huangtian mystic realm was in an uproar. The geniuses of the younger generation were all eager to fight in the immortal ancient world. They were ready to show off their skills and seize the great opportunity. Not to mention becoming a saint directly, they had to at least break through to the true God realm to be qualified to compete on the Emperor Road. With the opening of the immortal ancient world, geniuses and hidden talents of various forces also appeared one after another. There was a prince of a certain royal family who had cultivated the imperial dragon qi. The dragon qi stretched for 30,000 miles, shocking many mystical states around. There was a saintess of a terrifying sect who showed mercy to the world, attracting countless geniuses to follow her. There were also people who saw a young man standing on a high mountain, drawing the power of thunder from the 9 heavens to temper his body. Some people recognized that he was a genius hidden in the Thunder Emperor Mountain who had mastered an incomplete version of the Thunder Emperor's superpower. All in all, there were many terrifying geniuses of various forces appearing in various mystical states. Obviously, they were all here for the opportunity in the immortal ancient world. Other than that, there was also news from the Archean royalty. The powerful Qilin's son of the ancient Qilin cave seemed to have begun to appear. Wherever he went, purple qi would spread for thousands of miles. An auspicious Qilin shadow accompanied him. His aura was extremely powerful, and he could be called a top genius. Over at the Myriad Phoenix spiritual mountain, some people saw the appearance of a phoenix. Some people said that the Phoenix Child and Phoenix Maiden of the Myriad Phoenix spiritual mountain were preparing to enter the world. Huang Xuanyi and Feng Qingling could not be compared to the two of them. Huang Xuanyi and Feng Qingling were the most outstanding geniuses of the Myriad Phoenix spiritual mountain. As for the Phoenix Child and Phoenix Maiden, they were the top geniuses nurtured by the Myriad Phoenix spiritual mountain. Their statuses were different. Of course, at the same time, an even more shocking piece of news was spread. In the headquarters of the Zulong, Hong Province, almost all the living beings in Hong Province saw an extremely strange scene. In the sky above the Zulong, there was suddenly an earth-shattering dragon roar. 7 ancestral dragon shadows of different colors were hovering in the sky. Although the 7 dragons were all from the dragon clan, they were different. Among them, there was a blue dragon, a red dragon, a white dragon, and a black dragon. The 7 dragons represented the power of the 7 elements. If one took a closer look, each of the ancestral dragon shadows contained a bright and shining dragon essence. Finally, a figure broke out of seclusion and shook the heavens for thousands of miles. He roared into the sky and swallowed all 7 dragon essences into his body. In an instant, the violent dragon qi surged and suppressed the entire Hong province. Zulong's forbidden first generation, Long Aotian, had come out of seclusion. Chapter 375. If one were to name the most famous geniuses in the Huangtian mystic realm, Long Aotian would definitely be one of them. When Long Aotian was born, the shadow of the ancestor dragon appeared, and the sky was filled with auspicious signs. He had the blood of the Emperor Dragon, which was the purest and noblest bloodline of the Dragon clan. Everyone in Zulong believed that Long Aotian was qualified to become a saint ancestor. However, Long Aotian did not disappoint, just as the experts of the lair of Zulong had expected. His talent was amazing. Challenging those of a higher level was as easy as drinking water and eating. His domineering aura made countless geniuses of the current generation willingly submit to him. Many princesses and saintesses were also impressed by Long Aotien's heroic appearance. They admired him and fell in love with him. Not only that, but Long Aotien's luck was also off the charts. When Long Aotien entered the world to train, he once bought a worn-out broadsword from a stall at the price of 1 dawn stone. However, after Long Aotien baptized his own blood, the worn-out broadsword revealed its original form. It was a dragon soul broadsword that contained the sovereign dragon soul and had reached the level of a supreme weapon. After that, Long Aotien went to the secret lands of the 4 directions and collected many treasures. Not only that, but he also saved the beauty in the secret lands and captured the beauty's heart. By Mayer, the Heavenly Fox clan's heavenly princess, was once trapped in a deadly array and was rescued by Long Aotien. She fell hopelessly in love with him. In addition, Long Aotien always got the best treasures in the auctions. Long Aotien was even proficient in alchemy and crafting weapons. All in all, there was nothing Long Aotien could not do. He was that awesome. Later, Zulong gave Long Aotien 7 dragon essences of different elements in order to train him. After that, Long Aotien went into seclusion to refine the 7 dragon essences. It could be said that before Jun Xiaoyao made a name for himself, Long Aotien was the most famous genius in the Huangtian mystic realm. Many descendants of the clan of the ancients were even surpassed by Long Aotien. Now, Long Aotien had finally finished refining the 7 dragon essences and came out of seclusion. The eyes of the entire Hong province were focused on Zulong. Outside the lair of Zulong, many figures appeared. They were the ancient royal clans who had rushed over to observe after sensing the changes in Zulong. Their eyes all looked over, finally seeing Zulong's exceptional talent who had been in seclusion for a long time. Long Aotien's figure was tall and straight, his arms like an ape's and his waist like a bee's. Endless draconic energy circled around him, creating a myriad of scenes. He displayed the heroic bearing of an exceptional talent. His appearance was extremely outstanding as well. His eyebrows were slanted to his temples, his eyes were bright like stars, and his nose was sharp like a hanging gallbladder. He was handsome like a dragon steed and a phoenix chick, and his expression was heroic. In short, if he wasn't handsome, he wouldn't be able to live up to his name. Of course, he was still inferior to Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao was publicly acknowledged as the most handsome young man in the immortal realms. He was an immortal-like character and was the cold white moonlight in the hearts of all young girls. Even Long Aotien could only be ranked second. However, what shocked everyone was not Long Aotien's appearance, but his cultivation level. He had reached the empty god realm. This had already broken the record for the highest cultivation among the younger generation. At least, he had the highest cultivation among all the prodigies who had appeared. He's reached the empty god realm. Isn't Long Aotien too terrifying? As expected of a forbidden first-generation talent nurtured by Zulong. With the blood of the Emperor Dragon and 7 dragon essences, Long Aotien is extremely powerful. The various royal clans outside the Zulong were all amazed. Some of the young prodigies from the ancient royal clans felt ashamed of their inferiority. Compared to Long Aotien, they were simply trash. No, they were worse than trash. Long Aotien's expression was rather calm, as he felt the gazes from outside. However, the curve at the corner of his mouth revealed his inner thoughts. The feeling of being high above and being the center of attention was amazing. Refining 7 dragon essences allowed me to break through to the empty god realm. However, it's still not enough. I, Long Aotien, will break through to the heavenly god realm in the immortal ancient world. Long Aotien raised his head and looked at the mirage in the sky. He was ambitious. The empty god realm was the first stage of the 9 levels of the sage realm. After reaching the 9 levels of the sage realm, it was extremely difficult to break through to the next stage. However, Long Outyen seemed to be saying that breaking through to the next stage was not a big deal. Outyen, you've finally come out of seclusion. A group of Zulong elites appeared. Each of them was extremely powerful. However, they looked at Long Outyen with gratification. Zulong had been suppressed for too long. It was too miserable. Even the ancient freak princess Longji had been defeated by Jun Xiaoyao. Zulong desperately needed a powerful prodigy to restore their reputation. Without a doubt, Long Outyen was the best candidate. Long Bichi, who was wearing a green soft armor, also appeared. Congratulations, Brother Outyen. You've refined 7 dragon essences and achieved great success. Long Bichi looked at Long Outyen with admiration. It was extremely difficult for an ordinary dragon prodigy to refine even 1 dragon essence. Even Long Bichi had only refined 2 dragon essences, and they were both ordinary ones. However, Long Outyen had refined 7 dragon essences in one go. Moreover, the dragon essences were of a more powerful attribute. This was the power of Long Outyen's Emperor Dragon Blood. He was even more talented than some of the ancient freaks. After being defeated by Jun Xiaoyao, Long Bichi's Taoist heart was covered in dust. Long Outyen was the only hope left in her heart. Only Long Outyen was qualified to compete with or even defeat Jun Xiaoyao. Elders and Bichi, you're all here. By the way, where is my brother Outyen? Long Outyen looked around and did not see his brother Long Outyen. Well, Outyen, there are some things that we didn't tell you because you were focused on your seclusion. Let me tell you now. An elder of the lair of Zulong sighed. When Long Outyen was in seclusion, no one had disturbed him, let alone sent him messages. Therefore, Long Outyen knew nothing about the outside world while he was in seclusion. Subsequently, the elders of the lair of Zulong told Long Outyen about the series of events that had happened before. This included how his brother Long Outyen was killed by Jun Xiaoyao, how Princess Longji broke her seal, and how she was defeated by Jun Xiaoyao in the end. After hearing this, Long Outyen's face turned cold. A terrifying murderous intent filled the air, almost freezing the air. My brother was killed by the divine child of the Jun family? Long Outyen's expression was cold, and a cold light flashed in his golden eyes. Outyen, calm down. With your strength, you will definitely have a chance to defeat Jun Xiaoyao in the future, the Zulong elder said. Defeat? Haha, if I only defeat him, how can I avenge Outyen? How can I vent my anger? Long Outyen's aura surged. The shadows of 7 ancestor dragons could be vaguely seen around him. A terrifying aura poured out in all directions. Outyen, don't be rash and don't underestimate your opponent. Jun Xiaoyao can even defeat an ancient freak. He's not that simple, the Zulong elder warned. He was afraid that Long Outyen would be at a disadvantage if he underestimated his opponent. After all, Long Outyen's life had always been smooth sailing. He had never been defeated before. Don't worry, I won't make such a stupid mistake. However, I don't think that Jun Xiaoyao can threaten me. I, Long Outyen, am the ruler of this world. Those who provoke me must die. Chapter 376. Long Outyen's words reverberated throughout the heavens and the earth. Outside the lair of Zulong, many far ancient royal creatures took a deep breath. No wonder he was Zulong's forbidden first generation. His tone was really arrogant. Even if his opponent was the famous Jun Xiaoyao, Long Outyen dared to say that anyone who offended him would die. Didn't that mean that Long Outyen was confident in killing Jun Xiaoyao? Interesting. The son of God of the Jun family, Zulong's forbidden first generation. One has the sacred body of the ancients and the bones of supremacy. The other has the blood of the Emperor Dragon and 7 dragon essences. If the two of them meet, what kind of conflict will occur? Who will win? Many of the living beings in the periphery thought to themselves. However, because they were all far ancient creatures, they still hoped that Long Outyen would win. Before the immortal ancient world opens, I need to visit Princess Longji, Long Outyen said. That's right. When the immortal ancient world opens, you two can take care of each other. Elder Zulong chuckled. Zulong had a prophecy before that the ancestor dragon would reign supreme when the two dragons appeared. The two dragons in the prophecy were naturally Long Aotian and Princess Longji. If the two of them could work together, they might really be able to kill Jun Xiaoyao. However, at that moment, Long Aotian had another thought in his mind. Princess Longji, in terms of identity, status, talent, and strength, she is qualified to be my woman. She can even be my wife. As the destined protagonist, the son of fate, Long Aotian's standards for women were naturally high. Moreover, he couldn't only have one woman. He had to have a harem. He had to be a stud horse. However, Long Aotian only flirted with the women at his fingertip. He didn't plan to give them any status. Princess Longji, on the other hand, had a high status. She was qualified to be his wife and assist him in his conquest. After that, Long Aotian went straight to Princess Longji. The news of Long Aotian coming out of seclusion spread like wildfire to all corners of the immortal realm. This time, it caused a huge earthquake. Long Aotian had just come out of seclusion on the eve of the immortal ancient world's opening. It was obvious that he was going to suppress all the geniuses in the immortal ancient world and take the first place. A handsome young man with purple hair and purple clothes stood in the middle of a mountain range that was shrouded in purple mist and shining with auspicious light. Long Aotian actually came out of seclusion. Interesting. It seems like my Archean royalty will surpass the desolate clans in this immortal ancient world. The purple-haired youth muttered to himself. His skin was covered with fine purple scales, and two purple-gold Qilin horns protruded from his forehead. He was the top genius of the ancient Qilin cave, the Qilin Sun. On the other side, in the depths of the 10,000 Phoenix Spirit Mountain, a fiery red sun sank into the sky. Upon closer inspection, one could vaguely make out a blurry figure with a pair of wings on its back. Long Aotian has come out of seclusion. It seems like the immortal ancient world will become more and more interesting. Only, will Jun Xiaoyao come over? The mumbling figure was the phoenix son of Wan Huang's spiritual mountain, Huang Tianguo. He did not fear any of the immortal descendants or the geniuses of the clans. The only person he feared was Jun Xiaoyao. At the same time, in an ancient cave in a certain state, a beautiful figure broke through the seal and came out. It was a woman in a pink dress. Her face was delicate and seductive. Her eyes were like peach blossoms. Her gaze was seductive. Her figure was also excellent. Her curves were mesmerizing. The most eye-catching thing was the 6 foxtails behind her hip. They were furry and very soft. This woman was the Heavenly Fox clan's holy daughter, Bai Mei. The Heavenly Fox clan was rumored to have the bloodline of the ancient 9-tailed demon fox. The 9-tailed demon fox was the strongest Archean royalty. It was not in the Huangtian mystic realm, but in other mystic realms. Although the Heavenly Fox clan did not have the Archean royalty, they were the top Archean royalty. They were comparable to the 9-headed lion clan and the golden-winged rock clan. Welcome, holy daughter. Several maidservants of the Heavenly Fox clan greeted her respectfully. I can feel Brother Aotian's aura. He has also come out of his seclusion. Bai Mei-er's eyes were filled with hearts. She covered her cheeks with her hands. Her eyes were filled with fanatical worship and infatuation. She even looked like she was sick. The maidservants of the Heavenly Fox clan were used to this. After all, Bai Mei was trapped in a deadly array in a secret realm. In her moment of despair, Long Aotian appeared. He was like the Son of Heaven who came to save her. Bai Mei was completely captivated by his powerful strength, handsome posture, and devilish smile. Since then, Bai Mei had fallen madly in love with Long Aotian. However, at that time, Bai Mei had to cultivate a special technique of the Heavenly Fox clan. She could not be naked. Therefore, she did not have any intimate relations with Long Aotian. Now that she had mastered the technique, she was free. The next step was to look for Long Aotian. By the way, Did anything else happen while I was in seclusion? Bai Mei asked casually. She had been in seclusion for about the same time as Long Outyin. As such, she had no idea what had happened to Jun Xiaoyao. The maidservants of the Heavenly Fox clan told her everything that had happened. What? Brother Outyan's brother was killed by the son of God of the Jun family? Bai Mei's face was cold. Long Outyan's enemy was her enemy. You said that the son of God of the Jun family is better than Brother Outyan in terms of appearance, talent, and strength. How is that possible? Brother Outyan is the most perfect man. Bai Mei did not comment on Jun Xiaoyao when she heard the maidservants of the Heavenly Fox clan. The Heavenly Fox clan was a clan that valued both appearance and strength. They liked the strong. They liked the handsome strong even more. Long Outyan was perfect for the Heavenly Fox clan. Bai Mei naturally fell for him when he saved the damsel in distress. As for Jun Xiaoyao, she did not know and did not care about him. She was not interested in him. He was a banished immortal. His appearance was unparalleled. It sounded like an exaggeration. How could anyone be that handsome in this world? Bai Mei did not believe it. When the immortal ancient world opens, I will help Brother Outyan. Bai Mei's eyes were filled with infatuation as she giggled. On the other side, Long Outyan had arrived at a mountain range. The Golden Dragon Palace floated above the mountain range, looking majestic. Long Outyan stepped into it. Inside the Dragon Palace, a beautiful figure was leaning on the dragon throne. She seemed to have expected Long Outyan's arrival. The two dragons in Zulong's prophecy had finally met. Long Outyan looked over, and his golden eyes could not help but flash with amazement. Even though he had seen countless women, he was still amazed at how noble and beautiful the woman in front of him was. Princess Longji was wearing a palace dress, leaning lazily on the golden dragon throne. Her silky hair flowed down like a waterfall. Her palace dress was spotless. Her breasts were full, and her waist was slender. Her slender legs were crossed, and her bare feet were snow-white. She was like a work of art that was pleasing to the eye. Princess Longji was no longer as pathetic as she was when she fought against Jun Xiaoyao. She had regained her arrogance and nobility. At the same time, her aura was much stronger than before. She was unfathomable, much stronger than before. But her mind was still filled with images of Jun Xiaoyao. The humiliation of losing to Jun Xiaoyao was deeply engraved in her heart. Especially when Jun Xiaoyao stepped on her chest and said, "You're only fit to be a mount." It was a humiliation that she could never erase. When Long Outyan saw Princess Longji, he had made up his mind. Princess Longji was going to be his wife. As for whether Princess Longji was willing or not, Long Outyan did not care. There was no woman that he couldn't get his hands on. Plus, he and Princess Longji were the best match. If Long Outyan were to find out that his ideal wife was only fit to be a mount in the eyes of Jun Xiaoyao, he would be furious. How would Long Outyan feel about this? Chapter 377. You are Zulong's forbidden first generation, the most talented heaven's favorite of the generation, Long Outyan? Princess Longji leaned against the golden dragon throne lazily and stared at Long Outyan. A tinge of surprise flashed across his eyes. Long Outyan's talent and strength had indeed exceeded her expectations. She was a little surprised. Especially the power of the bloodline in Long Outyan's body. Even a descendant of the ancient emperor like her was surprised. Is that the legendary blood of the Emperor Dragon? Princess Longji mumbled. The blood of the Emperor Dragon was one of the strongest bloodlines of the dragon kind. It was incomparably noble. One could even become a sage and create one's own bloodline. From this, one could see how powerful the blood of the Emperor Dragon was. Even in Princess Longji's generation, Zulong never had a heaven's favorite with the blood of the Emperor Dragon. Princess Longji, you are just as the rumors say. Peerless and beautiful. Long Outyan's lips curled. He did not hide his gaze as he stared straight at Princess Longji. His passion and aggressiveness were not hidden at all. They were very direct. Princess Longji's brows furrowed as she felt his invasive gaze. She did not like this feeling. There was also no man who could conquer a strong woman like her. Why are you here? Do you want to work together in the immortal ancient world? Princess Longji asked. Since Long Outyen chose this time to break through, he naturally wanted to obtain great fortune in the immortal ancient world. Princess Longji also heard that Long Outyen's luck was off the chart. Perhaps he really could obtain great fortune in the immortal ancient world. No, that's secondary. I came here for you. Long Outyen smiled. What do you mean? Princess Longji tapped her finger on the throne's armrest. Be my woman, Long Outyen said straightforwardly. Are you joking? Princess Longji's frown deepened. Although Long Outyen was powerful and talented, he was too arrogant to ask her to be his woman. She did not know that this was Long Outyen's personality. If I want a woman, she will be mine. Princess Longji, be with me. When I become the Emperor of the Ancients, you will be my Empress. We will rule this era together. Long Outyen's tone was arrogant. This time, even Princess Longji was shocked. She wondered if Long Outyen's brain had gone haywire from his cultivation. This was not confidence, this was complete arrogance. You sure are arrogant. But I advise you, don't be arrogant. Do you think you can defeat Jun Xiaoyao alone? Princess Longji said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao was a mountain that stood above all the geniuses of that era. If Outyen could not pass this mountain, then there was no need to talk about conquering this era. However, Long Outyen's expression darkened upon hearing the words. A terrifying Outyen's murderous intent. That Jun Xiaoyao killed my younger brother. I will settle the score with him sooner or later. But now, I'm afraid that he has run into trouble in the eternal burial ground. He might not even be able to come to the immortal ancient world. Outyen was arrogant SSS. If Jun Xiaoyao missed the opportunity in the immortal ancient world, Long Outyen would be even more fearless. If he missed this opportunity, Jun Xiaoyao would be left far behind. I advise you to keep your arrogance in check. You can't be too careful with Jun Xiaoyao. Princess Longji shook her head. Once upon a time, she was as arrogant as Long Outyen. She thought she could defeat the younger generation. However, Jun Xiaoyao taught her a lesson right away. Of course, Princess Longji had now refined a drop of the ancient emperor's blood. Her strength had changed. If she met Jun Xiaoyao again, she would wash away the humiliation. Princess Longji, I will prove it to you. Then, you will be willing to be my woman. Long Outyen's lips curled into a devilish smile. He glanced at Princess Longji, then turned and left. His attitude was so flirtatious. Princess Longji's eyes were filled with disgust. We are both extremely talented. Why is his temperament so different from Jun Xiaoyao's? Princess Longji shook her head. Even though she had a grudge against Jun Xiaoyao. But she had to admit that Jun Xiaoyao's temperament was impeccable. It was not something other heaven's favorites could compare to. Long Outyen's talent was close to Jun Xiaoyao's. But his temperament was terrible. He was arrogant and conceited, like a 3-year-old child. Would someone like that be able to defeat Jun Xiaoyao? Princess Longji did not think so. Long Outyen's appearance shook the entire 3,000 mystical continent. Especially before the immortal ancient world appeared. It was obvious that Long Outyen wanted to defeat everyone in the immortal ancient world and obtain the greatest opportunity. TSK. Even Long Outyen has appeared. The clan of the ancients that went against the Archean royalty are going to suffer. Yeah. The son of God of the Jun family has not returned from the ancient burial ground. I don't know what's going on. The immortal ancient world this time will be disadvantageous to the Jun family and Jiang family. Just as many people were talking about Long Outyen. Another piece of shocking news came from the northern region of the Huangtian mystic realm. The young emperor of the Wang family was preparing to come out of seclusion and obtain the opportunity in the immortal ancient world. This news shocked everyone once again. In terms of fame, the Wang family's young emperor, Wang Ting, was not inferior to Long Outyen. Was the era of heaven's favorites finally coming? At the moment, in the Wang family of the north, inside a cliff full of divine qi, a middle-aged man in a purple robe arrived. It was the leader of the Wang family, Wang Yuanba. Just then, a figure walked out from the cliff. His body was shrouded in dazzling light, and the qi of heaven and earth was disturbed by him. For auspicious spirits surrounded him. A real dragon in the sky, a phoenix in the sky, a qilin in the sea, and a black tortoise in the mountains. This scene was very shocking. It set off Wang Ting, as if the heavenly emperor had come out of seclusion and the imperial star had descended. No wonder Wang Yuanba praised his son every day outside. This Wang Ting was indeed something. Father, as the radiance dissipated, a tall and handsome young man with the bearing of a dragon and the appearance of a phoenix appeared. His skin was like jade, and it contained divine light. His entire person had an aura that was protected by the heavenly path. In terms of luck, the young emperor was not inferior to Long Outyen. His cultivation was also in the void god realm. Good. My son indeed has the bearing of a great emperor. If you can't become a great emperor, who can? Wang Yuanba laughed and was proud of Wang Ting. Father, the immortal ancient world will be my springboard this time. And I have a feeling that there may be a heaven-defying opportunity in the immortal ancient world. Wang Ting's eyes were bright. He had been very lucky since he was young. He could get the golden chariot whenever he fell into a lake. He could get the golden sacred sword whenever he entered a mountain range. In short, Wang Ting was very sensitive to all kinds of opportunities. He also had a feeling that there might be a heaven-defying opportunity in the immortal ancient world that could change his destiny. Will it be one of the 7 incredible things in the immortal realm? Wang Ting muttered to himself. Chapter 378. Haha Ting-er, I believe in you. You'll be able to suppress everyone in the immortal ancient world, Wang Yuanba said with satisfaction. Jun Xiaoyao hasn't returned yet? Wang Ting asked calmly. No, but judging from the reactions of the Jun family and the Jiang family, he's probably still alive. Maybe he's trapped in the burial ground. Wang Yuanba's expression turned cold at the mention of Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao had destroyed one of Wang Ting's spiritual bodies in the Jiang family without holding back. Although it was only a spiritual body, it still affected Wang Ting's reputation. Jun Xiaoyao is not that simple, but I'm confident that I can suppress him. Not just Jun Xiaoyao, but also Long Outyen and the reincarnation of the Yi family's sword demon. I'll suppress them all. Wang Ting's tone was aloof. It was an invincible aura that he was born with. Very good. That's the attitude that the Wang family's young emperor should have. As for Jun Xiaoyao, don't worry about him. Even if he comes back, he's already missed the opportunity. Besides, he might not be able to bring back the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass, Wang Yuanba said with a smile. The 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass was not easy to find. If the Jiang family can't get the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass, they won't just watch Jiang Daoshu die. In the end, the Jiang family will still come to us for help, Wang Yuanba continued. Yes, I do need Jiang Xingyi's innate Taoist embryo to transform my strength. In the immortal ancient world, I'll definitely conquer her, Wang Ting said confidently. Women always liked strong men. As long as he was stronger than Jun Xiaoyao, he would be able to conquer Jiang Xingyi. When he got the innate Taoist embryo, Wang Ting would achieve the ultimate transformation. No one would be able to stop his path of cultivation. The first generation of the Zulong Taboo, Long Outyen, and the young master of the Wang family, Wang Ting, appeared one after another. All of the beings in the Huangtian mystic realm had a premonition that the era of geniuses and kings had finally arrived. These two have appeared one after another. Will the reincarnation of the Yi family's sword demon show up? The gazes of many beings in the immortal domain all turned towards the Yi family. As one of the 3 Yu families, the Yi family had kept a low profile during this period of time. There was no news about them. The only news that came out was that Yi Xingyun, the kingly body of stars of the Yi family, had died in the lower world. It could be said that the Yi family of the ancients no longer had any sense of existence. But that didn't mean that the Yi family was weak. They just kept a low profile. After all, Yi Guqin, the reincarnation of the sword demon, was enough to attract the attention of everyone. However, what was surprising was that even though the immortal ancient world was about to open, there was still no news of the reincarnation of the Yi family's sword demon coming out of seclusion. The Yi clan, on a lonely mountain peak that was thousands of feet high. The reincarnation of the sword demon, Yi Guqin, seemed to have been sitting cross-legged since ancient times. He clearly had a young and handsome face, but in his bottomless eyes, there was a hint of vicissitudes. In front of him, the monarch slayer's sword stained with monarch blood was still stuck in the ground. He raised his hand and looked at the mirage of the immortal ancient world in the sky without saying a word. Outside the lonely mountain peak, a great saint realm elder of the Yi family respectfully cupped his hands and said, "Senior Yi, the immortal ancient world is about to open. Aren't you going to enter?" Although the reincarnation of the Yi family's sword demon was a talent of the younger generation, because of his identity as the reincarnation of the ancient sword demon. Therefore, even the elders of the Yi family addressed him as senior. The time is not right. Kings don't meet kings. Yi Guqin closed his eyes. He wasn't going to participate in the battle for the immortal ancient world, nor was he going to meet Jun Xiaoyao. The great saint realm elder originally wanted to persuade him. But when he thought of Yi Guqin's identity as the reincarnation of the ancient sword demon, even without the opportunity of the immortal ancient world, Yi Guqin wouldn't fall behind others. Then, the Yi family elder cupped his hands and left. In the era of great battles, talents rise together, kings contend for hegemony, and the world is in chaos. Yi Guqin, the ancient sword demon of the past, is dead. I will cut off the past and reconstruct my true self. Yi Guqin suddenly slapped his head with one hand. His primordial spirit was shattering little by little. The past was being peeled away little by little. But one could imagine if Yi Guqin really cut off the past and reconstructed his true self. Then, how terrifying would his talent and strength be? No one knew. Moreover, Yi Guqin was the ancient sword demon who had killed a quasi-emperor in his previous life. Even if he didn't cut off the past, he would still be able to stand at the top. Not everyone had the courage to cut off the past. This was because it was very likely that he would fall into a situation of eternal damnation, and even lose the talent and advantage of being reincarnated. But as long as he succeeded, Yi Guqin would become a taboo. A taboo that broke the limit of a talent. At that time, he would also become Jun Xiaoyao's greatest opponent. The news that the reincarnation of the Yi family's sword demon didn't come out of seclusion gradually spread. Everyone was surprised that Yi Guqin gave up on such a great opportunity. Of course, no one criticized him. After all, Jun Xiaoyao didn't come back either. With talent and background, one could be willful. As time passed, the sky above the entire Huangtian mystic realm became clearer and clearer. The day when the immortal ancient world would be completely opened was getting closer and closer. Everyone in the Huangtian mystic realm was looking forward to it. As for the other mystic realms, no talents would come to the immortal ancient world. This was because in the Nine Heavens mystic realm, every mystic realm had an opportunity that was equivalent to the immortal ancient world, and it would all appear before the Emperor Road opened. Therefore, the talents from the other mystic realms didn't have to come to the Huangtian mystic realm to participate in the immortal ancient world contest. Finally, at a certain moment, flowers suddenly bloomed in the sky above the Huangtian mystic realm. These were not ordinary flowers, but space flowers, which were also the passageways to enter the immortal ancient world. 3,000 space flowers bloomed in the 3,000 mystical state. All young geniuses within a certain realm could enter at will. Of course, if they were too strong, they would be rejected by the space flowers and would not be able to enter. It's finally opened. I'm the ruler of this great era. In the Zulong, Long Aotian soared into the sky, accompanied by the shadows of the 7 ancestor dragons. His aura was extremely powerful. Behind him, Long Bichi and the other supreme talents of the lair of Zulong followed closely behind, their eyes filled with admiration. In the Golden Dragon Palace, Princess Longji's beautiful figure flashed and dashed toward the space flowers. Jun Xiaoyao, if you don't come, I'll be very disappointed, Princess Longji murmured. In the Heavenly Fox clan's territory. Brother Aotian, I'm coming for you in the immortal ancient world. Bai Mei-er's eyes sparkled, and she was filled with joy. With a twist of her slim waist and a swing of her 6 fox tails, she flashed away. In the Wang clan of the north, Wang Ting stepped onto the space flowers like a god-emperor. His younger brother Wang Gang and the other talents of the Wang clan also set off together. Although they would land in random corners of the immortal ancient world in the end, they would eventually meet. In the Jiang clan, Jiang Shengyi, Jiang Luoli, Jiang Chuhan, Jiang Zuling, Hua Yuanxiu, and other talents also set off. Brother Xiaoyao hasn't shown up yet? Jiang Luoli's eyes were filled with disappointment. Jiang Shengyi didn't say a word. He glanced in the direction of the ancient burial ground with a hint of melancholy in his eyes. The 10 sequences of the Jun family, the reincarnation sects Sun Wang Chuan, Yu Yen Qingying, and others also set off. In addition, the talents of the Wan Huang Spirit Mountain, the ancient Qilin Cave, the Demon God Palace, the Fallen God Palace, and other imperishable forces also set off at the same time. Countless talents of the top forces, second-rate forces, and third-rate forces were also unwilling to be silent. They were willing to fight for a future with their lives. All in all, this was a feast of talents that swept across the 3,000 mystical states of the Huangtian mystic realm. However, the most dazzling person in the feast was missing. Jun Xiaoyao missed the opportunity to open the immortal ancient world. Would he fall behind others? Chapter 379. When the immortal ancient world opened, 3,000 space flowers bloomed in the 3,000 mystical states, attracting countless geniuses. The stage for the competition had been set, and the curtains had been drawn. All that was left was to see who would have the last laugh on the stage. Many forces had an unwritten rule regarding the immortal ancient world. Killing was not forbidden in the immortal ancient world. Even if their own geniuses were killed, they could only grit their teeth and swallow it. Therefore, the immortal ancient world was not only a land of opportunity for the participating geniuses, but it could also be a burial ground. As the geniuses entered the immortal ancient world, the world that had been sealed for a long time also became lively. The immortal ancient world was not in the 3,000 mystical states, but an independent space. It had been separated from the mystic region for a long time, and then passed down. Therefore, many of the opportunities were very ancient, and were very valuable to the current generation of geniuses. At least there was a possibility that they could catch up with the ancient freak. As soon as they entered the immortal ancient world, all the geniuses were frantically searching for opportunities. They only had one goal in the beginning: breakthrough, and breakthrough again. If they wanted to make a name for themselves on the Emperor Road in the future, they had to at least reach the true immortal realm. Those ancient freaks were still okay, but the current generation of geniuses were a little weaker. Therefore, they urgently needed to find opportunities to break through. While searching for opportunities, of course, many geniuses would fall. This was unavoidable. A general success was built on thousands of bones. If one genius successfully broke through, it meant that hundreds or thousands of geniuses would become nameless bones. At the same time, in the sky above the Huangtian mystic region, Many people from various forces gathered. An extremely huge mirror floated in the sky. All kinds of scenes were reflected in it. This was the immortal ancient mirror, which could reflect all kinds of scenes in the immortal ancient world. Although the powerful cultivators of various forces could not enter the immortal ancient world, they could use the immortal ancient mirror to check the situation of their descendants in the immortal ancient world. At this moment, the surroundings of the immortal ancient mirror were densely packed with millions of living beings. These were the sect leaders, and elders of various forces in the Huangtian mystic region. There were also many living beings from the mystic region who came to watch the show. It was very lively. The area closest to the immortal ancient mirror was occupied by powerful cultivators from various immortal forces. Among them, the Jun family occupied the area closest to the immortal ancient mirror. Jun Zhantian and the other elders were all present. On the other side of the immortal ancient mirror was the region where the Archean royalty resided. At that moment, Zulong, Wanhuang Spirit Mountain, Ancient Qilin Cave, and other powerhouses of the sovereign family looked at the Jun family with faint smiles on their faces. Jun Xiaoyao did not appear to participate in the immortal ancient world. This could be said to have given the Archean royalty prodigies a chance to develop. At the very least, they wouldn't have to worry about being targeted by Jun Xiaoyao. On the other side, the Wang family of the north also occupied an area. Wang Yuanbao, the head of the Wang family, suddenly smiled and said, "The son of God of the Jun family is quite impulsive, daring to enter the eternal burial ground alone. Although he may not die, it will be difficult for him to make it in time." Wang Yuanbao's tone carried a hint of schadenfreude. Jun Xiaoyao was known as Wang Ting's biggest competitor. Now that Jun Xiaoyao couldn't make it in time, Wang Ting would get opportunities and become stronger. In this way, it wouldn't take long for Wang Ting to completely leave Jun Xiaoyao behind. It was no wonder that Wang Yuanbao was gloating. "Humph, my grandson has the bearing of a great emperor. Actually, your little brat can't compare," Jun Zhantian said with a cold face. "Haha, my son Wang Ting has the bearing of a great emperor. In the future, he will definitely become a great emperor." Wang Yuanbao's tone was sharp. Hearing these two words, the powerhouses of the immortal forces around them were speechless. Why did it feel like everyone had the bearing of a great emperor now? However, this kind of quarrel was obviously not very meaningful. Now, everyone was paying attention to the situation in the immortal ancient world. All the prodigies who entered the immortal ancient world were randomly sent to different areas. A few unlucky ones were directly sent to some dangerous places. They died as soon as they landed in the broken array. Many of the geniuses were extremely lucky and ended up at some of the fortunate encounters. For example, when Long Outian landed in the immortal ancient world, he found a dragon scale fruit tree beside him. It was full of dragon scale fruits. These fruits were very helpful for the cultivation of the dragon race. Although the effect was not as good as the elixir of immortality, it was not much weaker. Haha, the destiny of this generation is indeed on my side. Long Outian looked up to the sky and laughed. He immediately took the opportunity. Next, I have to find opportunities to break through and conquer Princess Longji. Then, I have to carry out that plan. Long Outian squinted his eyes. Zulong, Wanhuang Spirit Mountain, Qilin Ancient Cave, and other Archean royalty. They worked together secretly to come up with a detailed plan. If this plan was carried out, it would be an extremely painful blow to the younger generation of the Jun family. On the other hand, Wang Ting was also lucky. He found a good opportunity as soon as he landed in the immortal ancient world. Jun Xiaoyao did not come. Neither did the reincarnation of the sword demon of the Yi family. It seems that besides Long Outian and a few others, only those ancient freaks sleeping in the immortal ancient world are worthy of being my opponents, Wang Ting muttered to himself. He stepped into the sky like a heavenly emperor patrolling the world. He was surrounded by the four spirit Some prodigies nearby were shocked when they saw Wang Ting's kingly aura. They did not dare to get close. Apart from some unlucky ones, most of the other descendants of the immortal forces landed safely and began to search for their own opportunities. The battle for supremacy in the immortal ancient world had officially begun. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, a few months had passed. In these few months, there were shocking news in the immortal ancient world from time to time. A prodigy from an immortal force died tragically in a secret realm. Or a descendant of a large sect was devoured by a heavenly god realm dragon. All in all, the immortal ancient world was full of dangers. In these few months, thousands of prodigies had died. Of course, there were also some shocking news. For example, Long Outyen, Wang Ting, and the others had broken through to the true god realm after finding a few great opportunities. Some other prodigies had reached the empty god realm even if they had not broken through to the true god realm. This was because the spiritual qi in the immortal ancient world was much richer than in the immortal domain. Therefore, it was easier to break through in the immortal ancient world. The prodigies of the immortal domain had grown rapidly, as if they had been injected with hormones. In this situation where everyone had broken through to the immortal ancient world, some people also thought of Jun Xiaoyao, who had not come. I remember that when Jun Xiaoyao entered the eternal burial ground, he was only a noble of the heavenly reaching realm. Indeed. Moreover, the eternal burial ground is not suitable for the beings of the immortal domain to cultivate. Therefore, even if Jun Xiaoyao is still alive, he will not be able to improve in the eternal burial ground. If Jun Xiaoyao comes back and finds that the prodigies who were left behind by him have all surpassed him, I wonder how he will feel. He will probably be very disappointed. Times have changed. Some of the forces who were hostile to Jun Xiaoyao were all laughing and discussing. Some of the elders of the Jun family also had cold expressions. However, they still had confidence in Jun Xiaoyao. Time passed like this. Half a year had passed. It had been a full year since Jun Xiaoyao entered the eternal burial ground. On this day, in the reincarnation pool of living beings in the burial ground, Jun Xiaoyao, who had been sitting cross-legged for a long time, finally opened his eyes. In an instant, a terrifying aura shook the heavens and the earth. It was as if the immortal king had come out of seclusion and the god of war had descended to the world. The hidden dragon has fallen asleep. A roar shook 1,000 mountains. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 380. Burial world, living reincarnation pool. There was no more energy in the pool. All the energy had been absorbed and refined by Jun Xiaoyao. It was terrifying. After all, the living reincarnation pool was built by the Great Terror in the depths of the burial world. It seemed to be used for some kind of plan. But now, it was all for Jun Xiaoyao. The energy of the entire living reincarnation pool was so powerful. Even saint-level experts could use this to absorb and refine it to break through. Not to mention Jun Xiaoyao. At this moment, the space around Jun Xiaoyao was vibrating. Vaguely, runes filled with Taoist rhymes appeared around Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's aura was extremely terrifying. It was completely different from before. Peak true immortal realm. Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. His white robe was as white as snow and his black hair fluttered. His aura was extremely powerful. Peak true immortal realm. This was Jun Xiaoyao's current cultivation level. During the time he was in seclusion, Jun Xiaoyao directly broke through from the peak true immortal realm to the peak true immortal realm. 2 major realms, 10 minor realms. If this scene was seen by others, they would definitely not be able to accept it. The 9th level of the Saint realm was different from before. Even if it was a minor realm, the difficulty of breaking through was comparable to the previous major realm. In other words, it was equivalent to Jun Xiaoyao breaking through 10 major realms. This was unimaginable. However, looking at Jun Xiaoyao's frown, it was obvious that he was still not satisfied. The breakthrough speed is starting to slow down. It seems that the 9th level of the Saint Realm is indeed more difficult than before. Jun Xiaoyao thought. If other geniuses heard this, they would definitely curse Jun Xiaoyao to death. Was this not enough? Why did he need a bicycle? One should know that even Long Outyin, Wang Ting, and the others only broke through to the true immortal realm after obtaining many opportunities in the immortal ancient world. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao broke through to the peak true immortal realm in one go. If Long Outyin and the others knew about this, they would definitely vomit blood. They painstakingly searched for opportunities in the immortal ancient world, and finally broke through to the true immortal realm. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao just sat cross-legged in the pool and directly broke through to true God realm grand completion. If it were anyone else, their mentality would have collapsed. How could they play like this? Jun Xiaoyao's gains during this period of seclusion were definitely not limited to his cultivation realm. In his body, 30,000 draconic elephant particles had transformed into elemental elephant particles. This meant that the strength of Jun Xiaoyao's soul had increased by 3 times. What does that mean? This meant that if Jun Xiaoyao attacked other prodigies with his soul, he could almost completely crush them. At the same time, in Jun Xiaoyao's divine palace, amidst the 3 flowers of the Tao, the spirit flower that represented the past vaguely had a tiny, blurry primordial spirit slowly taking shape. Jun Xiaoyao was a primordial spirit of 3 lifetimes, representing the past, present, and future. But in the past, only this flower had a tiny primordial spirit sitting cross-legged on it. At this moment, a blurry figure of a primordial spirit began to appear on the Tao flower that represented the past. Is it because of the reincarnation pool that my primordial spirit of the past has begun to take shape? Jun Xiaoyao guessed. But now, the primordial spirit of the past was only in its embryonic form and had not completely taken shape. It would be great if there was a soul cultivation method that matched the primordial spirit of 3 lifetimes. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but think. Jun Xiaoyao's gains were not limited to just that. Because he already had 30,000 elemental elephant particles, Jun Xiaoyao could now begin to unlock the next ability of the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant. Summoning the gates of hell. Jun Xiaoyao could now use the elemental elephant particles and supreme soul power to summon the gates of hell. Countless evil spirits, asuras, demon kings, and rakshasas in hell would fight for him. This was an extremely terrifying ability that, once used, could cause a bloodbath in all directions. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao's strength had improved significantly after the breakthrough. His magic immunity had also improved once again. Not only had its range expanded, but it could also resist more magical powers and divine abilities. It could be said that the magical immunity ability would accompany Jun Xiaoyao's growth for a long time. Not bad. Although the breakthrough is not much, it's still okay. This is just the appetizer, Jun Xiaoyao said. The real main course was the great opportunity in the immortal ancient world. The opportunity in the immortal ancient world would allow Jun Xiaoyao's strength to improve qualitatively. Congratulations to the young master for your success in cultivation. Li Xian and Ju both appeared. They saw the surging true god aura on Jun Xiaoyao's body. Li Xian's eyes flashed with amazement. It was worth noting that Jun Xiaoyao was only 15 years old at the moment. A 15-year-old true god expert. Even Jun Wuhui, at Jun Xiaoyao's age, was slightly weaker. The student surpasses the master. Li Xian increasingly felt that Jun Xiaoyao would be stronger than his father in the future. It's time to leave. Senior Li Xian, are you really not going to leave with me? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Guarding this place is this general's mission. Perhaps one day, when everything in the burial world is settled, I will be free, Li Xian said. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes also revealed a touch of admiration. Oh right, take this thing, young master. Li Xian seemed to have thought of something as he took out a jade amulet from his spatial power item and handed it to Jun Xiaoyao. This is... Jun Xiaoyao took the amulet and looked at it. A line of small words was engraved on it. A gentleman's life, no regrets. This is something left behind by the Lord. The Lord seemed to have predicted that young master would eventually come, Li Xian said. The amulet left by father. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep as he looked at the small line of words. A gentleman's life, no regrets. What kind of breadth of mind was this? The day I return to the burial world will be the day when the burial world is settled. Jun Xiaoyao put away the amulet and said in a certain tone. Who dared to say that they could settle the burial world? Jun Xiaoyao dared. Li Xian's eyes revealed a faint trace of excitement. This was the young master of the Jun family, he was willing to serve. Ajio's beautiful eyes also revealed a touch of gratification. The young man she was protecting would definitely grow into a peerless hero in the future. After saying their goodbyes, Jun Xiaoyao and Ajio also rushed out of the burial world, preparing to leave the eternal burial world. Outside the burial world, there were many creatures of the burial world waiting here. When they saw Jun Xiaoyao and Ajio appear, they suddenly turned their gazes. When they sensed Jun Xiaoyao's aura, they were all dumbfounded. Damn, am I seeing things? True immortal realm. The group of creatures of the burial world was tongue-tied. Before, Jun Xiaoyao was at the peak of the divine fire realm, but now he was at the true immortal realm. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they definitely wouldn't have believed it. In the void, two beautiful figures appeared. It was Lang Huan and Qin Xianer. After sensing Jun Xiaoyao coming out of the burial world, Lang Huan immediately rushed over. Young Master Jun, you've finally come out of seclusion. Lang Huan's beautiful eyes flashed, and at the same time, she was surprised. Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation had actually reached the true immortal realm directly, far surpassing her. If the current Jun Xiaoyao were to fight against the previous 10 minor kings, he would probably be able to kill them with a flick of his finger. It's time for me to leave the burial world, Jun Xiaoyao said. Hearing this, a hint of sadness appeared in Lang Huan's eyes. We'll meet again in the future. Jun Xiaoyao didn't feel anything. Everything was just Lang Huan's one-sided love. If there's a chance in the future, Lang Huan will also leave the burial world, Lang Huan said firmly. Instead of chasing after an illusion that you can't get, it's better to cherish the person in front of you, Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently, then left with Ajio. Lang Huan was stunned and looked at Qin Xianer. Qin Xianer's heart also trembled. She didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to speak up for her. The two women looked at each other in silence. On the other side, outside the ancient burial world, in the land of the barbarian state, there were still many cultivators looking for opportunities here. They also talked about the immortal ancient world from time to time. TSK, I heard that recently, another sequence warrior of the Jun family died. I think it's the 9th sequence warrior, Jun Tianming. Yeah, this is the 3rd sequence warrior of the Jun family to die. The Archean royalty is going to fight to the death with the Jun family. However, Jun Lingsong and the others have also killed many Archean royalty geniuses. The most pitiful one is probably the 4th sequence warrior of the Jun family, Jun Wuchen. He was about to break through to the complete void god stage when he was ambushed by the dark son of God from the fallen god palace and died. It's too tragic. I also heard that one of the followers of the Jun family's son of God, the successor of the god-devouring demonic technique, is being hunted down by the saintess of the sacred sect. At the edge of the barbarian state, two cultivators were talking. They didn't know that a figure was silently listening to everything behind them. The two empty god realm cultivators suddenly felt a chill down their spines. They turned around and saw a handsome young man in white with a face as cold as ice. Jun family's son of God. The two cultivators took a deep breath and felt their scalps go numb. Aside from the divine child of the Jun family, they couldn't think of anyone else who could be this handsome young man, especially since he had appeared in the burial ground. At that moment, the might of a true god emanating from Jun Xiaoyao's body, as well as the terrifying killing intent emanating from him, seemed to have frozen the universe. True God stage cultivation. The two cultivators trembled again, and their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Didn't they say that the June family's Son of God was only in the reaching heaven stage when he entered the burial ground? How did he suddenly become a true God stage cultivator? Moreover, his aura was extremely dense and solid. He should have reached the complete void God stage. The two cultivators were dumbfounded and trembling. Jun Xiaoyao's strength was beyond their imagination. If news of this spread back to the immortal realm and everyone knew about it, it would cause a huge commotion. Tell the Son of God about the immortal ancient world, Jun Xiaoyao said coldly. Seeing this, the two cultivators hurriedly told Jun Xiaoyao about what had happened in the immortal ancient world. After hearing this, Jun Xiaoyao was expressionless. However, the two cultivators felt that the temperature around them seemed to have dropped to the freezing point. When there are no tigers in the mountains, the monkeys become kings. When did Wang Ting and Long Aotian become kings in the immortal ancient world? Jun Xiaoyao waved his sleeve, and the surrounding void exploded and the ground was filled with cracks. This move alone was enough to make the two empty God realm cultivators tremble in fear. This is too damn powerful. Young Wang Ting and the forbidden first-generation Long Aotian were just two monkeys in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. Those who dare to provoke the Jun family will pay the price in blood. Jun Xiaoyao stepped into the air and left. The two cultivators still had lingering fear, and their bodies were covered in cold sweat. They looked at Jun Xiaoyao's aloof figure and their hearts trembled. If the Jun family's Son of God enters the immortal ancient world, I'm afraid he will cause a storm of blood. Who can stop him? Who dares to stop him? Chapter 381. Although he missed the opening of the immortal ancient world, Jun Xiaoyao didn't care. He wasn't worried that the other geniuses would surpass him. Therefore, he cultivated peacefully in the burial world. However, he didn't expect that someone from the Jun family would die in the immortal ancient world. However, after thinking about it carefully, it was normal. This era was cruel. Only a small number of people could make it to the end. Even the 10 sequences of the Jun family couldn't make it to the end safely. Since a few sequences had died, the Jun family would promote a few more talented clansmen in the future. It was cold and cruel, but it was the truth. Although some things can't be avoided, the Archean royalty and the fallen god palace have crossed the line. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold. His killing intent froze the void. However, before going to the immortal ancient world, he had to return to the Jiang family and give the 9-wonder reincarnation immortal grass to Jiang Daoxiu. Soon, Jun Xiaoyao sat on the flying boat and headed to the Jiang family. On the other side, in a certain region of the immortal ancient world, a figure was flitting through the air at an extremely fast speed. It was a young lady in a black dress. She had a slender figure and a beautiful face. She had a pair of black and white fallen god wings on her back. With a casual flap, she could fly across 1,000 feet. She was Jun Xiaoyao's follower, the successor of the god-devouring demonic technique, Yan Qinying. Yan Qinying's speed of improvement was also extremely fast. As a genius from the lower plane, her current cultivation had already reached the great empty god realm. She was only a step away from the true god realm. This was due to her god-devouring demonic technique. It could devour many talents, allowing her to improve quickly. Originally, Yan Qinying could break through to the true god realm quickly if she continued to cultivate at this speed. However, halfway through, someone started to form a group to kill her. Yan Qinying, why struggle? You can hide for a while, but you can't hide forever. Under the call of the Holy Maiden, do you think you can hide from the encirclement? That's right. The god-devouring demonic technique shouldn't appear in the world. The saint is merciful and willing to form a group to kill the god-devouring demonic technique. You should surrender. Behind Yan Qinying, there were hundreds of sky prides chasing after her. If there were only a few or a dozen people, Yan Qingying could still kill them all. However, these hundreds of people were simply too many. The few supreme talents who were leading the group were either late Empty God Realm or complete Empty God Realm. It was impossible for Yan Qingying alone to contend with so many people. Most importantly, they were all summoned by one person to encircle her. Saintess of the sacred sect, humbly greet you. Extreme coldness flashed across Yan Qingying's obsidian-like eyes. The saint's sect was the same as the human immortal sect and the demonic celestial sect. They were all imperishable sects in the Huangtian mystic realm. This time, the opening of the immortal ancient world, the sacred sect also had two top figures participating. The saint and saintess cried out. The saintess, Bei Mi Hu, was the one who had gathered all the prodigies to kill her. Yan Qingying asked herself, she had never met Bei Mi Hu and had never devoured anyone from the sacred religion. She did not understand why Bei Mi Hu wanted to kill her. Was it really just because he did not want the god-devouring demonic technique to appear? You will pay the price for what you have done, Yan Qingying said coldly. The immortal ancient world was huge. When one entered, they were randomly teleported. Therefore, Yan Qingying was not with Yu, Wang Chuan, and the others. Moreover, each of them had their own opportunities and would not encounter each other in the early stages. Therefore, Yan Qingying was in a situation where she was alone and helpless. Hearing Yan Qingying's words, the faces of the supreme talents who were chasing after her changed slightly. They knew that Yan Qingying was Jun Xiaoyao's follower. Encircling Yan Qingying was tantamount to offending Jun Xiaoyao. However, thinking that Jun Xiaoyao had not appeared yet, these supreme talents were relieved. Don't pretend to be strong. We don't know if the Jun family's son of God can come out of the burial ground alive. Even if he comes out alive, his current cultivation level is probably lower than ours, right? One of the supreme talents who was chasing after Yan Qingying sneered. That's right. Moreover, the immortal ancient world does not forbid killing. A few of the Jun family's sequence bearers have already died. Why would they care about a mere follower like you? Another supreme talent said. You are courting death. Yan Qingying dodged as she used the god-devouring demonic technique, refining a few supreme talents into nothingness again. Just like that, Yan Qingying fought and retreated, persisting. She believed that Jun Xiaoyao would definitely return in the most powerful manner. Just as the battle in the immortal ancient world reached its climax, Jun Xiaoyao had already returned to the Jiang family. When they saw Jun Xiaoyao appear, all the Jiang family members were stunned. Then, they exclaimed in joy. Young Master! Young Master is back! Young Master really returned safely from the eternal burial ground. Gosh, this aura! Am I seeing things? The true immortal realm. All of the members of the Jiang family were dumbfounded when they sensed Jun Xiaoyao's aura. If they did not know that Jun Xiaoyao had gone to the eternal burial ground, they would even suspect that Jun Xiaoyao had returned from the immortal ancient world after a tour. Otherwise, how could his strength increase so quickly? He was even more powerful than those supreme talents who were still training in the immortal ancient world. Xiaoyao, you are finally back. Jiang Rou flashed and appeared in front of Jun Xiaoyao. He touched Jun Xiaoyao's face and patted his shoulder as if he was checking to see if Jun Xiaoyao was hurt. After seeing that Jun Xiaoyao was completely fine, Jiang Rou heaved a sigh of relief and said, You went to the eternal burial ground for so long. Mother was so worried. Mother, don't you know what I can do? Don't worry. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. By the way, where's grandfather? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Your grandfather's health is getting worse. Jiang Rou's face was slightly gloomy. It's okay. I didn't disappoint you. Jun Xiaoyao took out the 9 Wonders Reincarnation Undead Grass. Instantly, the surrounding heaven and earth became quiet. The Jiang family members widened their eyes and opened their mouths silently. In their expectations, it was already a miracle that Jun Xiaoyao could return safely from the eternal burial ground. What they did not expect was that Jun Xiaoyao actually brought back the 9 Wonders reincarnation undead grass from the eternal burial ground. Young master is mighty. As expected of our Jiang family's young master. After a short moment of dead silence, there was a wave of fanatical exclamations. Jun Xiaoyao used his own actions to prove his strength thoroughly. He was indeed worthy of his identity as the Jiang family's young master. After that, Jun Xiaoyao, Jiang Rou, and the others went to the small world where Jiang Daoxu was in seclusion. After not seeing him for almost a year, Jiang Daoxu had aged greatly. When he saw Jun Xiaoyao return safely, Jiang Daoxu's aged face revealed a wisp of a smile. Even though he knew Jun Xiaoyao was fine, he was still extremely gratified when he saw Jun Xiaoyao return safely. Grandfather, if it wasn't for the ancient weapons you gave me, I might really be in danger. Grandfather, please refine this 9 Wonders reincarnation undead grass. Jun Xiaoyao passed over the undead grass. Good, good, good. How fortunate am I, Jiang Daoxu, to have such a grandson. Jiang Daoxu laughed and successively said good 3 times. Obviously, he was delighted to the extreme and felt proud of Jun Xiaoyao. After that, Jiang Daoxu started to enter into seclusion to refine the 9 Wonders reincarnation undead grass. With this undead grass, even if Jiang Daoxu didn't recover to his peak state, his life was at least safe. After settling the most important matter, Jun Xiaoyao could finally breathe a sigh of relief. At that moment, Jiang Rou stepped forward and said, Xiaoyao, Xingyi, Luoli, and the others are already in the immortal ancient world. You should also depart. Still looking for, checking in for sacred body of the ancients for free? Baidu directly searched. Easy, very simple. =. Chapter 382. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. The opportunity in the immortal ancient world was the most important. It was normal for Jiang Xingyi and Jiang Luoli to go there first. Jiang Rou continued, but before this they were all very worried about you. They didn't even have the energy to cultivate. Is that so? Jun Xiaoyao was silent. Tell me honestly, what's your relationship with Xingyi? Jiang Rou suddenly asked, staring at Jun Xiaoyao. This Jun Xiaoyao was speechless under Jiang Rou's sharp gaze. Jiang Rou chuckled and said, You really? Even Xingyi has fallen for you. But it doesn't matter. She can give birth to a Tao fetus of the connate divine body. Jiang Rou's words were so shocking that even Jun Xiaoyao was taken aback by what she said. Mother, are you all so open-minded? Jun Xiaoyao asked. As a transmigrator, he felt a little difficult to deal with. It's not a big deal. The only trouble is Luoli. It doesn't matter. I'll explain it to her, Jiang Rou said with a smile. Her only wish now was to hold a chubby grandson as soon as possible. Whether it was Jiang Xingyi or Jiang Luoli, it didn't matter. As for the others, as long as Jun Xiaoyao liked them, Jiang Rou would also agree. All in all, Jiang Rou was not stingy. The more women Jun Xiaoyao had, the better. It could also make his bloodline flourish. Forget it, mother. I'll go to the immortal ancient world first. Jun Xiaoyao left immediately. He didn't want to stay any longer. After leaving the Jiang family, Jun Xiaoyao went directly to the space flower. There was one in each of the 3,000 mystical provinces. The Jiang family's green province naturally had one too. Jun Xiaoyao went directly to the space flower in the sky above Green Province. In a flash, he rushed in. There were also a few cultivators in the surroundings who had stopped. They only saw a blurry figure in white, shrouded in immortal light, stepping into the space flower in an instant. Who is it that entered immortal ancient so late? That's not right. He's dressed in white and shrouded in immortal light. Why does he look like that person? You mean? Impossible. Isn't that person in the burial ground? How could it be him? That's right, it's definitely him. He's too terrifying. Moreover, did you guys notice his strength? If it's really him, I'm afraid the immortal ancient world is going to be turned upside down. The cultivators around the space flower were all shocked. It was as if they could already see shocking news coming out of the immortal ancient world one after another. Immortal ancient world, in a misty place. The space shuddered, and Jun Xiaoyao's figure flashed out. As soon as Jun Xiaoyao entered the immortal ancient world, he could feel that the surrounding qi of heaven and earth was different from the immortal domain. That kind of spiritual energy was too rich, as if it was the revival of spiritual energy. In such an environment, even a pig could cultivate into a spirit. No wonder the immortal ancient world is such a great opportunity. Even if there's nothing there, just cultivating in one place is several times faster than the outside world, Jun Xiaoyao said to himself. No wonder those geniuses still wanted to enter the immortal ancient world despite knowing that it was dangerous. The temptation of a breakthrough in cultivation was more attractive than anything else. Although I entered the immortal ancient world a few months later, in terms of cultivation, there shouldn't be many people who can surpass me. The first thing I need to do now is to find some people to understand the current situation in the immortal ancient world, Jun Xiaoyao thought. Just as he was thinking, the system's voice sounded in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have reached the check-in location. Immortal ancient world. Do you want to check in? Check in. Jun Xiaoyao didn't hesitate. He wanted to know what good things he could get from check-in this time. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have received a rare 8-star reward, 1/3 of the 3 Lives Immortal Sutra, the Tathagata mantra of the modern world. System, something's wrong with you. When Jun Xiaoyao heard the first half of the sentence, he was a little happy. That's an 8-star reward. Until now, Jun Xiaoyao had only received an 8-star reward when he was born, which was the great success of breaking the shackles of the holy body. Therefore, when he heard about the 8-star reward, Jun Xiaoyao's heart was stirred. Did he become a European king? However, the second half of the sentence stunned Jun Xiaoyao. What does 1/3 mean? Host, the 3 Generations Celestial Sutra is a rare 8-star reward. It is divided into 3 parts: the past Amitabha Sutra, the present Tathagata Sutra, and the future Lifeless Sutra. Host, you only got 1/3 of it. Please continue to work hard and refresh the check-in location. There is a chance that you will get the remaining 2 parts. Hearing the system's explanation, Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. System, you've learned bad things. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head. Which unscrupulous company did it learn this from? They even have a probability lottery. After complaining a little, Jun Xiaoyao also began to understand the present Tathagata Sutra. After a little understanding, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes revealed a look of surprise. This 3 Generations Celestial Sutra seemed to be specially made for the 3 Generations Primordial Spirit. I was wondering if I should find a suitable soul cultivation method for the 3 Generations Primordial Spirits to cultivate. Now, I don't have to bother looking for one, Jun Xiaoyao said. The 3 Generations Celestial Sutra included the past Amitabha Sutra, the present Tathagata Sutra, and the future Lifeless Sutra. They could cultivate Jun Xiaoyao's past, present, and future primordial spirits respectively. Of course, in the divine palace of Jun Xiaoyao's mind, only the present primordial spirit had been successfully condensed. The past primordial spirit had only vaguely formed a hazy embryonic form. The future primordial spirit had not yet manifested. Therefore, Jun Xiaoyao was not in a hurry to collect the 3 Generations Celestial Sutra. Could the 3 Generations Celestial Sutra really be a soul cultivation method for immortals to cultivate? Jun Xiaoyao thought. Until now, the only soul cultivation method he had was the visualization of primal chaos divine grindstone. Now, he finally had a real soul cultivation method. And it was the most top-notch, the most amazing kind. The Tathagata Sutra of the modern world. When cultivated to the highest level, the primordial spirit will be like the ancient Buddha Tathagata. It won't move, won't be destroyed, won't increase or decrease. A thought can spread across the 3,000 sectors. What kind of power is this? After a rough understanding, Jun Xiaoyao sighed deeply. The Tathagata Sutra of the modern world was heaven-defying. If he could collect the 3 generations Celestial Sutra in the future, not to mention anything else, just the primordial spirit alone would be comparable to Jun Xiaoyao. Even if Jun Xiaoyao's physical body was destroyed, his primordial spirit could exist forever and could not be easily destroyed. The 3 generations Celestial Sutra was really heaven-defying, worthy of its name. However, although the Tathagata Sutra of the modern world was powerful, it was also very complicated to cultivate. Although it was a reward for signing in, Jun Xiaoyao could directly comprehend it completely. However, comprehending was one thing, cultivating was another. It still took time. Now that Jun Xiaoyao had just entered the immortal ancient world, he needed to investigate the situation, so he did not have time to comprehend the Tathagata Sutra of the modern world for the time being. Just as Jun Xiaoyao began to explore the immortal ancient world, in his spatial artifact, an artifact that had been there for a long time trembled slightly. Well, it's the bronze compass. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. The bronze compass was pieced together by him after he had subdued the 4 symbols ancient kingdom. The bronze compass was somewhat related to the bronze immortal palace, one of the 7 wonders. Could it be that the bronze immortal palace will appear in the immortal ancient world? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. He did not forget that he still had a chance to sign in the bronze immortal palace. Chapter 383. As one of the 7 incredible worlds, the bronze immortal palace had always been mysterious. Moreover, the time and location of its appearance were uncertain. It might really appear in the immortal ancient world. Jun Xiaoyao kept this matter in mind and continued to advance in the immortal ancient world. He had to admit that the immortal ancient world was huge. It was even bigger than a prefecture. It was almost impossible for ordinary geniuses to explore the entire immortal ancient world. After a certain period of time, the immortal ancient world would close. Hence, there was no time to waste. Jun Xiaoyao also encountered some ferocious beasts in the immortal ancient world along the way. They were generally stronger than those in the outside world, and their bloodlines were more ancient. However, in front of Jun Xiaoyao, whose strength had skyrocketed, they could kill them with a flick of his finger. However, Jun Xiaoyao realized that because of the special rules in the immortal ancient world, he could not use some of the trump cards in his space dharma item. For example, he could not use the god-slaying doll. He would be restricted by the rules of heaven and earth in the immortal ancient world. However, the other geniuses could not use any of their trump cards to cheat. There is a spiritual power fluctuation in front. Moreover, there is a familiar force. Jun Xiaoyao, who was advancing, suddenly stopped in his tracks. His spiritual soul was extremely sensitive. He could sense the fluctuations of a battle in front of him. Moreover, there was a force that he could not be more familiar with. At this moment, there was a valley 1,000 miles away. The valley was filled with spiritual qi, and there was a pool in the middle. Above the pool, there were 5 balls of light that emitted Taoist rhymes. Each ball of light was the size of a fist. The Taoist rhymes made one feel enlightened. In the valley, a great battle had been going on for some time. A young man in silver armor with thunder gloves on his hands was fighting with the other geniuses. The young man was surrounded by the power of thunder. His eyes were like 2 pools of thunder, shooting out 3 feet of thunder. When he punched out, it was accompanied by rolling thunder. The fluctuations were powerful. The young man's strength had reached the later stage of the empty god realm. Among the geniuses who had entered the immortal ancient world, he was considered to be at the top. As for the cultivation of the true god realm, only the descendants of the top immortal forces could reach it. Lei Mingyuan, it's impossible for you to monopolize these 5 sources of Tao. Let go of them obediently, and I might even give you one. A young prince whose body was surrounded by imperial draconic aura sneered. He was a prince of the Heavenly Wave Ancient Kingdom. Although the Heavenly Wave Ancient Country was not an immortal power, it was still a first-rate power. Prince Tianlan, do you really dare to provoke our Thunder Emperor Mountain? The young man named Lei Mingyuan said coldly. Haha, what a joke! After the disappearance of the Thunder Emperor, your Thunder Emperor Mountain is no longer a lofty, immortal force. You even lost the Thunder Emperor's great divine power that was passed down from your ancestors. Prince Tianlan laughed. His words were full of disdain. The Thunder Emperor, who had created the Thunder Emperor's grand magic, had also created a force in the Huangtian mystic realm called the Thunder Emperor Mountain. In the past, the Thunder Emperor Mountain was also considered an immortal force. However, following the disappearance of the Thunder Emperor, the entire Thunder Emperor Mountain gradually declined. Later on, even some of the Thunder Emperor's great divine abilities were missing, and it was difficult to pass them down completely. This lineage also gradually declined. It was not until recently that Lei Mingyuan, who had the heavenly thunder body and comprehended the incomplete Thunder Emperor's grand magic, that the Thunder Emperor Mountain was slightly invigorated. Seeing the disdain in Prince Tianlan's eyes, Lei Mingyuan secretly gritted his teeth, his face extremely cold. How dare you humiliate our Thunder Emperor Mountain? You're courting death. Lei Mingyuan attacked. Around him, the power of thunder condensed into stars and crushed toward Lei Mingyuan. Prince Tianlan and the other geniuses also attacked. Their cultivation levels were also between the intermediate and advanced Void God realm, so there was not much difference between them. There was not much suspense in this battle. Without a huge gap in cultivation level, Lei Mingyuan could only be beaten up. Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. Prince Tianlan's eyes flashed coldly. They began to kill. At the same time, outside the immortal ancient world, beside the immortal ancient mirror, some of the elders of the Thunder Emperor Mountain had ugly expressions. On the other side, the monarch of the Tianlan Ancient Kingdom was also present. Seeing this scene, he could not help but shake his head and laugh. He said to the elders of the Thunder Emperor Mountain, "You geniuses of the Thunder Emperor Mountain are really stubborn. It's a pity that you're going to give up your life." Hearing the monarch of the Tianlan Kingdom's words, the elders of the Thunder Emperor Mountain's faces were as black as the bottom of a pot. That genius of the Thunder Emperor Mountain is going to die. Isn't it normal to die? Many geniuses of the immortal forces have died in the immortal ancient world. Some of the elders of the surrounding forces discussed. At this moment, a few hundred miles away from where Lei Mingyuan and the others were fighting, Jun Xiaoyao's hazy figure appeared in the void. Seeing the fluctuations in the valley before him, Jun Xiaoyao's face was calm. Lei Mingyuan, however, caught his attention. "It's indeed the Thunder Emperor's grand magic," Jun Xiaoyao said. Previously, he had sensed a familiar energy. As expected, it was the power of the Thunder Emperor's grand magic. However, Jun Xiaoyao was not a good person. Although that young man had the incomplete Thunder Emperor's grand magic, it had nothing to do with Jun Xiaoyao. Hence, he was too lazy to make a move. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was about to leave, he suddenly saw the 5 balls of light floating in the pond behind Lei Mingyuan. Could that be? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. If it was not bad, then it should be the rare origin of Tao. The origin of Tao was a type of energy that could be compared to a supreme-grade immortal origin. Not only that, the Taoist rhyme contained within the origin of Tao was also helpful for breaking through to the next realm. If Jun Xiaoyao wanted to break through to the Heavenly God realm or the Tao God realm, the more origin of Tao he had, the better. Thinking of this, Jun Xiaoyao did not hesitate and stepped into the air. On the other side, in the valley, the battle had reached its climax. One had to admit that as the most powerful genius of the Thunder Emperor Mountain, Lei Mingyuan's strength was indeed extraordinary. With the heavenly thunder body and the incomplete Thunder Emperor's grand magic, his combat strength was extremely strong. However, Prince Tianlan and the other geniuses were not much weaker than him. Coupled with the fact that they outnumbered him, they naturally had the upper hand. Dai Lei Mingyuan. Prince Tianlan and the other geniuses attacked together. Terrifying dermic powers swept out. At this moment, a figure flashed into the valley. Who is it? Prince Tianlan and the other geniuses' eyes flashed. However, what happened next stunned them. However, when the frightening mana fluctuation neared the figure, it was like a clay ox entering the sea, disappearing without a trace. This was too illogical. One had to know that there were a total of 5 empty God Realm geniuses on their side. When the 5 empty God Realm geniuses attacked together, they could even hold their own against a genius of the exceptional empty God Realm. However, when they attacked together, they could not even touch the corner of that figure's clothes. This was too strange. Chapter 384. That's right. I, the Son of God, will take these origins of Tao. With his back to Prince Tianlan and the others, Jun Xiaoyao looked at the origins of Tao above the pool and nodded in satisfaction. Prince Tianlan and the others' expressions changed when they heard this. They had fought with Lei Mingyuan for so long for these 5 origins of Tao. Now, someone wanted to intercept them? How could they tolerate this? I'm a prince of Tianlan Ancient Kingdom. Brother, aren't you being a little overbearing? Prince Tianlan said with a gloomy face. Do you think you're worthy to call me, the Son of God, your brother? Jun Xiaoyao did not even bother to deal with Prince Tianlan and the others. He went straight up, intending to collect the 5 sources of the Great Path. As for Lei Mingyuan, he stood frozen on the spot and did not move. That was because he saw Jun Xiaoyao's face. Although he was shrouded in divine brilliance, Lei Mingyuan reacted immediately. Jun. Lei Mingyuan stuttered because he was too shocked. It was as if a character that only existed in legends had suddenly appeared in front of them. Anyone would be stunned if they were in his shoes. Even though Lei Mingyuan was a heaven's pride of Thunder Emperor Mountain, he was just a small fry in front of a legendary figure like Jun Xiaoyao. Seeing that Jun Xiaoyao was going to collect the origins of Tao, Prince Tianlan and the others were filled with killing intent. Without saying a word, the 5 Void God Realm Heavens Prides attacked again. Imperial Draconic Qi Technique. Prince Tianlan's body surged with golden draconic qi and turned into the shadow of a golden dragon. He soared toward Jun Xiaoyao. The other 4 Heavens Prides did the same. Powerful energy waves swept across the entire valley. Watch out! Lei Mingyuan couldn't help but cry out. Jun Xiaoyao frowned slightly. He turned around and unleashed his peak true Immortal Realm cultivation base. His aura erupted like a volcano, shaking the entire valley. This aura. True Immortal Realm. Your Prince Tianlan was stupefied when he sensed the terrifying aura. When he caught sight of Jun Xiaoyao's indifferent face, enshrouded in immortal light, Prince Tianlan felt as if he had been struck by lightning. No. Impossible, I must be dreaming, Jun. Jun family's son of God. Prince Tianlan and the other 4 heavenly legends were all dumbfounded. They never thought that Jun Xiaoyao would appear. Didn't the son of God of the Jun family not come to the immortal ancient world? Also, his cultivation is not right. Another genius trembled. Not to mention why Jun Xiaoyao would suddenly appear in the immortal ancient world. But there was something wrong with his cultivation. In the eyes of the world, he was only a noble of the reaching heaven state. Moreover, Jun Xiaoyao had gone to the burial ground some time ago. In that kind of environment, it was good enough that he was still alive. It was almost impossible for him to cultivate and improve. They had stayed in the immortal ancient world for so long. In terms of cultivation, they should be able to surpass Jun Xiaoyao. But what the hell was the aura of the complete true immortal realm? All of their ultimate moves were nullified by Jun Xiaoyao's magical immunity before they were even able to land on him. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold. Ants were always annoying. Prince Tianlon and the others felt their hair stand on end when they saw the flash of killing intent in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. They hurriedly said, "Son of God, please forgive us. We didn't know it was the Son of God who came." Please, however, before Prince Tianlon and the others could finish their words, Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand. Lightning twined between his fingers and shot out sparks. The power of lightning burst out and gathered into lightning stars, which rushed toward Prince Tianlon and the others. Prince Tianlon and the other 4 heavenly legends of the Void God realm were directly hit and turned into charred corpses that fell to the ground. The whole valley returned to a dead silence. Only Lei Mingyuan's breathing was extremely rapid. His eyes were filled with incomparable shock. It was not only because Jun Xiaoyao killed Prince Tianlon and the others with a raise of his hand. It was because of the moves he used. Thunder Emperor's great divine ability, and its power is much stronger than mine. Lei Mingyuan took a deep breath. If he did not know Jun Xiaoyao's identity, he would have thought that the ancestor of the Thunder Emperor Mountain had sneaked in. No. Even the ancestor of the Thunder Emperor Mountain could not cultivate the Thunder Emperor's great superpower to such a proficient level. Lei Mingyuan was so excited that his heart was trembling. He did not know how Jun Xiaoyao was able to use the Thunder Emperor's great superpower, but he had a hunch that Jun Xiaoyao might have mastered the complete Thunder Emperor's great superpower. This was extremely important to the Thunder Emperor Mountain. At the same time, beside the immortal ancient mirror, all the experts of the various forces were dumbfounded. The emperor of the Tianlon country, who had a smile on his face, was dumbfounded as if he had lost his soul. The elders of the Thunder Emperor Mountain, who were originally gloomy, were also surprised. Am I seeing things? Is that the Son of God of the Jun family? That's right. It's the Son of God of the Jun family. He actually appeared in the immortal ancient world? No, shouldn't you be paying attention to his cultivation? Has he reached the true God realm? When they saw the peerless figure in white, countless forces around the immortal ancient mirror were in an uproar. It was as if they had seen an incredible scene. On the Jun family's side, Jun Zhantian and the other elders of the Jun family were stunned for a moment before they burst into laughter. Haha, Xiaoyao did not disappoint. What else do you have to say? Jun Zhantian laughed heartily. Then, he looked at the Archean royalty with a mocking tone. Zulong, the Wanhuang Spirit Mountain, the ancient Qilin Cave, and the other elders of the royal family all had dark faces. They did not expect Jun Xiaoyao to really come back. Furthermore, his cultivation had exceeded everyone's expectations. The true God realm. How is that possible? The Son of God of the Jun family was lucky enough to come back alive from the burial ground. How could he have made such progress? Many people found it unbelievable. Because the eternal burial ground was isolated from the immortal realm, news of the eternal burial ground would not spread to the Huangtian mystic realm so quickly. Because of this, no one knew what Jun Xiaoyao had experienced in the eternal burial ground. Great. With Xiaoyao here, he can avenge the Jun family. Some elders of the Jun family had a cold look in their eyes. Previously, the Jun family had lost 3 sequence elders. They were all killed by the Archean royalty, the fallen god palace, and other hostile forces. Of course, Jun Lingsong and the other sequence elders also took revenge and killed many people from the Archean royalty and the fallen god palace. Even so, the Jun family was still targeted in the immortal ancient world. The Jun family needed someone who could stabilize the situation. Without a doubt, Jun Xiaoyao was the most suitable candidate. I seem to have seen the scene of blood rain in the immortal ancient world. Some elders of the major forces sighed. With Jun Xiaoyao's domineering personality, he would definitely kill after learning about the situation of the Jun family. The immortal ancient world had only begun to become interesting now. Chapter 385. After Prince Tianlon and the others perished by the valley, Jun Xiaoyao walked to the pool and collected the 5 sources of the Great Path. Lei Mingyuan didn't dare to object when he saw this. He didn't even make a sound. If Prince Tianlan and the others were fighting for it, Lei Mingyuan would have resisted with all his might. But Jun Xiaoyao wanted the sources of Tao, so Lei Mingyuan couldn't even muster up the will to resist. This was human nature. When everyone's level was about the same, no one would submit to the other. They would fight until their heads bled. But when a person was facing someone who was far more powerful than him, he would only feel respect and submission. There would be no fighting spirit. This was Lei Mingyuan's current state of mind. Although he was the Thunder Emperor Mountain's heaven's pride, he was also extraordinarily talented and famous. But compared to Jun Xiaoyao, who was known to be invincible among the younger generation, he was too far away. Identity, status, and strength were not in the same world. Therefore, Lei Mingyuan didn't feel angry or sullen. Instead, he was willing to accept it. Yes, it's difficult to find a single sources of Tao in the outside world. But in the immortal ancient world, they can be found directly. Jun Xiaoyao played with the sources of Tao in his hand and sighed in admiration. Not long after entering the immortal ancient world, he had already obtained 5 rare sources of Tao. In other places in the immortal ancient world, Jun Xiaoyao might be able to obtain more sources of Tao. With enough sources of Tao, Jun Xiaoyao's immortal Daluo immortal body would be cultivated very quickly. By then, Jun Xiaoyao's already monstrous body would definitely reach a higher level. Jun Xiaoyao didn't hesitate and began to refine the 5 sources of Tao. He raised his hand and performed the devouring god demonic art. A pitch-black devouring vortex appeared and began to refine the 5 sources of Tao. Lei Mingyuan retreated to the side. Seeing the devouring vortex, a look of surprise appeared in his eyes. As expected, the successor of the demonic art, Yan Qingying, who was being hunted by the saintess of the sacred sect recently, is a follower of the Jun family's Son of God. After seeing the devouring god demonic art, Lei Mingyuan was completely certain. His eyes flickered as he made up his mind. If Lei Mingyuan wanted to make a name for himself in the immortal ancient world, it was impossible to rely on his own strength. He needed to hug the thickest thigh. Jun Xiaoyao was, without a doubt, the best candidate. Ordinary prodigies would need 3 to 5 days to digest 5 Tao origins. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, only used a few hours to completely refine it. The number of origin immortal bones in his body had increased by 10 to 170. Jun Xiaoyao was rather surprised by what he saw. This was because the further one cultivated the origin immortal bone, the more energy one needed to consume. Even now, it was difficult to refine one origin immortal bone even with 100 low-grade immortal sources. However, 1 ball of origin of the Tao was enough to refine 2 pieces. Jun Xiaoyao only needed to find more origin of the Tao to refine all 206 bones in his body into origin immortal bones. By then, no one in the immortal ancient world would be able to stop Jun Xiaoyao once his immortal body was completed. Jun Xiaoyao's gaze then fell upon Lei Mingyuan, who was standing at the side. While he was refining the origin of the Tao, Lei Mingyuan did not play any trick. Instead, he stood guard outside as if he was protecting him. When he saw Jun Xiaoyao looking at him, Lei Mingyuan immediately felt pressured. After all, Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation was now at the complete true god realm. Void god realm prodigies could be killed with a flick of his finger. 163 Lei Mingyuan still had some lies in his heart. However, he gritted his teeth and suddenly knelt down on one knee in front of Jun Xiaoyao. I am the successor of the Thunder Emperor Mountain, Lei Mingyuan. I am willing to follow the Son of God of the Jun family. Thunder Emperor Mountain, Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. This Thunder Emperor Mountain was also an immortal force in the immortal realm. Unfortunately, it had declined. Jun Xiaoyao did not know much about the Thunder Emperor Mountain, but he vaguely knew that the Thunder Emperor Mountain was related to the Thunder Emperor. In that case, it was also related to Jun Xiaoyao. After all, Jun Xiaoyao had inherited the complete Thunder Emperor's superpower. Seeing Lei Mingyuan's actions, Jun Xiaoyao was not surprised. Thinking about it from another perspective, if he were Lei Mingyuan, seeing such a thick thigh, he would probably also hug it. You are doing this for the Thunder Emperor's superpower, right? Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Lei Mingyuan's heart skipped a beat, and cold sweat flowed down his forehead. It was hard to imagine that a famous immortal force prodigy would be scared out of his wits because of Jun Xiaoyao's words. However, Lei Mingyuan still clenched his teeth and said, Lei Mingyuan does not dare. I have only heard of the Son of God's great name. I respect you and am willing to follow you. Don't be nervous. I am not a bloodthirsty person. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. Lei Mingyuan could not help but curse in his heart when he heard that. Jun Xiaoyao was famous for his cruel behavior towards his enemies. However, you are indeed not qualified to be my follower, the Son of God, Jun Xiaoyao said straightforwardly. What he said was the truth. Although Lei Mingyuan was the successor of the Thunder Emperor Mountain and possessed the heavenly thunder body, in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, he was not qualified to be his follower. No matter if it was Yu or Yan Qingying, they were both people with great talents and great opportunities. Even Wang Chuan, who was an ancient freak, was qualified to be his follower. In comparison, Lei Mingyuan was too weak. Lei Mingyuan smiled bitterly when he heard Jun Xiaoyao's words. He knew his own limitations and just wanted to give it a try. However, this Son of God has just arrived in the immortal ancient world. I am still lacking a scout and guide, Jun Xiaoyao said. Lei Mingyuan's eyes lit up when he heard that. He hurriedly said, Lei Mingyuan is willing to follow the Son of God everywhere. Lei Mingyuan was excited. Even if he could not be Jun Xiaoyao's follower, being an errand boy was good enough. Sure. This Son of God will not mistreat you. Although the Thunder Emperor's great divine power is not bad, it is not impossible for me to pass it to you. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. Lei Mingyuan was so excited that his face turned red when he heard that. As expected of the Son of God of the Jun family. He was so generous. This was a top divine power that was comparable to the true dragon's great divine power and the divine phoenix's great divine power. Only Jun Xiaoyao had the courage to say something like that. The reason why Jun Xiaoyao was willing to give Lei Mingyuan a chance. In fact, he was also trying to get an ally for the Jun family. Although the Thunder Emperor Mountain had declined, it was an immortal force after all. Its foundation was still there, and it was qualified to be an ally of the Jun family. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao could not give the Thunder Emperor's great divine power to Lei Mingyuan now. It would depend on his performance. By the way, Master Son of God, Yan Qingying is your follower, right? Lei Mingyuan suddenly asked. I heard about it before. She seems to be in trouble, Jun Xiaoyao said. He was not too anxious. As a person with great providence, Yan Qingying would not die so easily. This happened to be a test for Yan Qingying. I heard that the saintess of the sacred sect, Beimi Hu, seems to have joined forces with the Little Western Paradise's Buddhist lady, Miao Wuxin, to completely kill Yan Qingying, Lei Mingyuan said. Chapter 386. If only the subordinates of the saintess were chasing after Yan Qingying, then Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't have to worry too much. After all, Yan Qingying was the successor of demonic art. She could still handle this situation. However, if the Buddha lady of Little Western Paradise was involved, then the situation would be different. As an immortal sect that had been passed down since ancient times, Little Western Paradise kept a very low profile and was also very mysterious. Most importantly, Little Western Paradise and Jun Xiaoyao had a grudge against each other. The Bodhisattva of Little Western Paradise, Fahai, was killed by Jun Xiaoyao in the lower realm. Although Little Western Paradise didn't say anything about it later. But obviously, Little Western Paradise wouldn't pretend that nothing had happened. It was only because of Jun Xiaoyao's background and Fahai's own death that Little Western Paradise didn't find trouble with Jun Xiaoyao. And now, the Buddha lady of Little Western Paradise had also started to target Yan Qingying. It wasn't just because Yan Qingying had the god-devouring demonic art. She wanted to take revenge on Yan Qingying. They are courting death. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold. A few days ago, I heard some news that the supporters of the Saintess wanted to force Yan Qingying to a place called the Broken Soul Cliff, Lei Mingyuan continued. After all, he had stayed in the immortal ancient world for much longer than Jun Xiaoyao. He also knew more than Jun Xiaoyao through various channels. With Lei Mingyuan around, it was much more convenient for Jun Xiaoyao to do things. Let's go and take a look. Jun Xiaoyao waved his sleeve. He didn't just want to solve Yan Qingying's predicament. He also wanted to show his skills and tell those enemies that he, Jun Xiaoyao, was back. Looking at Jun Xiaoyao's terrifying aura, Lei Mingyuan was surprised and happy at the same time. His choice was right. The Broken Soul Cliff was a famous place in the periphery of the immortal ancient world. The Broken Soul Cliff was bottomless, and there was a special domain in the air. Any cultivator who tried to fly across the Breaking Soul Cliff would be suppressed by the power of the domain and fall into the bottomless abyss. You want to force me into the Broken Soul Cliff? Do you think it's that easy? A beautiful figure flew across the sky. The fallen angel wings behind her flap. It was Yan Qingying. Her skin was originally extremely white, but now it was as white as snow. It was obvious that she had used up a lot of energy. However, her aura was still stable. Along the way, she had killed many geniuses as she fought and retreated. Even so, there was still an endless stream of geniuses joining the team to hunt down Yan Qingying. The reason was simple: the Saintess Bei Mihu's influence was too great. She was known as the Benevolent Holy Lady, benevolent and benevolent. She originally had great prestige in immortal domain, having heavenly geniuses from all sides following her. In addition, Yan Qingying had used the god-devouring demonic art to devour and refine many geniuses in the immortal ancient world. As soon as the Saintess called out, many geniuses responded and came to kill her. The hundreds of sky prides behind him were his loyal supporters. However, Yan Qingying did not think that she had done anything wrong. Survival of the fittest, was the law of heaven and earth. When she came to immortal domain from the lower realm, the only thing she relied on was the god-devouring demonic art. It was impossible for her not to use the god-devouring demonic art. Only by cultivating the god-devouring demonic art will I have the qualifications to continue being young master's follower. Yan Qingying did not regret it at all. The fallen angel wings behind her flapped, and she prepared to turn in another direction. Yan Qingying was not stupid. She naturally knew that these geniuses wanted to force her into the Broken Soul Cliff. At that time, it would be difficult for Yan Qingying to escape. However, just as Yan Qingying was about to turn in another direction, a golden Buddhist light suddenly shone. A beautiful figure was sitting cross-legged in the void. It was a woman dressed in snow-white monk robes. Her skin was as white as snow, and she looked like a jade sculpture. What was noticeable was that the woman did not have an inch of hair on her head. However, it did not look out of place. Instead, it gave off a strange sense of beauty. This nun was enveloped in Buddhist light, and there was a golden Buddhist halo behind her head. She looked incomparably holy and dignified. When she saw this nun, Yan Qingying's expression changed. The Buddha daughter of Little Western Paradise. The Little Western Paradise had a Buddha son and Buddha daughter. The Buddha son Fahai had already been killed by Jun Xiaoyao. The current Buddha daughter had also entered the world when the immortal ancient world appeared. Yan Qingying, you've cultivated a demonic art and killed countless people. Stop now, the Buddha daughter of Little Western Paradise, Miao Wuxin, said lightly. You're probably here because young master once killed the Little Western Paradise's Buddha son. Yan Qingying's obsidian eyes shot out a cold light. She hated this kind of hypocrite the most. Revenge was revenge, but they had to make it sound so dignified. Life and death are predestined. Fahai's death was his own fault. However, the god-devouring demonic art that you cultivate is too domineering. It goes against the harmony of the world. If you destroy your own demonic art, I can also persuade Pimi Hu to stop chasing after you. Miao Wuxin put her palms together and said solemnly. Impossible. Yan Qingying's beautiful eyes were cold. At this moment, hundreds of sky prides chased after her like a swarm of locusts. Yan Qingying gritted her teeth. The fallen angel wings on her back flapped and she escaped. With Miao Wuxin around, she could not change her direction. Sai, you're too stubborn. You have the god-devouring demonic art. Everyone has the right to kill you. Miao Wuxin shook her head slightly. At this moment, on top of a mountain range, not far away, there was a mountain range. A woman in a holy robe was standing in the wind. She was beautiful, and her eyes were filled with compassion. She looked like a merciful holy mother. This woman was the saint of the sacred sect, Pimi Hu. But at this moment, there was a cold light in her eyes. If her followers saw this, they would be surprised that the merciful saint of the sacred sect would have such a look. Back then, the heaven-devouring demonic lord devoured and killed many members of the sacred sect. Now that a successor has appeared, I must nip it in the bud. Pimi Hu's eyes were cold. Everyone thought that she was chasing after Yan Qingying because of the bloody massacre she had caused. In fact, it was because the heaven-devouring demonic lord had caused great harm to the sacred sect. Even a few of her bloodline ancestors had fallen because of the heaven-devouring demonic lord. Pimi Hu's action was purely for revenge. There was no other reason behind it. Her supporters had unknowingly become tools for her to use. The sacred sect's son is now looking for an opportunity to transform. His strength is not much weaker than Long Outyan, Wang Ting, and the others. What I need to do now is to kill Yan Qingying completely. She should be forced to the Broken Soul Cliff soon. It's time to make a move. Pimi Hu muttered to herself. She took a step forward and flew towards the Broken Soul Cliff. The Broken Soul Cliff. Looking at it, it was like a deep valley that had cracked open. It spanned thousands of miles. Moreover, there was a domain restriction above the Broken Soul Cliff, so it was impossible to fly over. Yan Qingying arrived at the place with a cold expression. She turned around. Hundreds of sky prides had already caught up and surrounded her. Miao Wuxin had also come. She sat cross-legged in the void, looking solemn. There were also many sky prides around them who were watching the show. That's the follower of the Jun family's son of God, Yan Qingying. She's really miserable now. After all, the god-devouring demonic art is already notorious. No one wants this demonic art to be passed down. It's normal for everyone to want to kill her. Sigh. It's a pity that the Jun family's son of God did not come to the immortal ancient world. Otherwise, Pimi Hu and the others would be the unlucky ones. That's not necessarily true. The Jun family's son of God's strength is still unknown. Sounds of discussion could be heard from all directions. At this moment, a holy light surged in the void. A woman in a holy robe stepped on the auspicious light that filled the sky. She was like a merciful holy mother. Yan Qingying, as the successor of the god-devouring demonic art, do you know your crime? The one who came was naturally Pimi Hu. Her attitude was condescending, and her tone was as if she was judging a sinner. Killing one is a crime. Killing 10,000 is a hero. Stop talking nonsense. If you want to fight, let's fight. Yan Qingying's black hair danced in the wind, and her aura rose. Her temperament was like a murderous empress in the darkness, but also like a fallen angel. She carried a boundless killing intent. Yan Qingying would rather die than fall. As Jun Xiaoyao's follower, she had the prestige of not falling. A battle to the death was about to begin. Chapter 387. The atmosphere in the air was extremely solemn. During the period when the immortal ancient world was opened, Yan Qingying had killed many people. As the successor of the god-devouring demonic technique, killing had always been with Yan Qingying. She had even received the title of demoness. However, Yan Qingying did not care about the reputation of the world. She only cared about Jun Xiaoyao. As long as she could continue to become stronger through the god-devouring demonic technique, she would be qualified to continue being Jun Xiaoyao's follower. The stronger she was, the more help she would be to Jun Xiaoyao. Yan Qingying did not want to be a burden or a vase. She wanted to be Jun Xiaoyao's right-hand man. Therefore, Yan Qingying had been killing to improve herself. Of course, Yan Qingying was not a lunatic who would kill anyone she saw. Yan Qingying would only kill those who had a conflict with her. Even so, Yan Qingying's hands were stained with blood, but she did not regret it. Yan Qingying, I'll give you one last chance. Destroy your own god-devouring demonic technique, and there's still room for redemption, Miao Wuxin said. Her tone was extremely calm, and no one could tell if she was telling the truth or pretending. Destroy my own demonic technique and then surrender? Yan Qingying said coldly. There's no need to talk to her. This person's demonic nature is already deep, and she has killed countless people. Killing her is equivalent to saving a group of living beings. Why not? Bei Mi Hu said pretentiously. That's right, the saintess is right. That's right, the saintess is merciful. This Yan Qingying relied on the fact that she was the follower of the Jun family's Son of God to kill indiscriminately. The heavens will not let her go. The hundreds of geniuses were all Bei Mi Hu's supporters. At this moment, their eyes were filled with admiration. In the next moment, a great battle broke out. Under Bei Mi Hu's signal, those geniuses attacked. Although their individual strength was not very strong, when hundreds of them worked together, the change in quantity caused a qualitative change. Unless it was someone like Jun Xiaoyao, Wang Ting, or Long Outyen who had absolute strength and could ignore the number. The other geniuses, even the successor of the demonic technique, Yan Qingying, could not kill so many geniuses casually. Kill. Yan Qingying's black hair fluttered in the wind. Her aura was like that of a dark queen of slaughter. Using the god-devouring demonic art, many devouring vortexes appeared. As soon as she struck, she displayed her powerful cultivation of great empty god realm. With this kind of cultivation, as long as he did not run into those monstrous geniuses of the true god realm, he would be safe and sound. Unfortunately, Yan Qingying was facing hundreds of geniuses. Among them, the weakest was at the consummate divine fire realm, and there were even more at the void god realm. Qi La. Blood splattered everywhere. Yan Qingying's god-engulfing demonic art tore more than 10 prodigies into pieces and refined them. However, even more heaven's favorites made their move. Their spiritual energy vibrated like a tidal wave, shaking the heavens and the earth. Seeing Yan Qingying being surrounded, Bei Mi Hu's beautiful face was filled with coldness. The sky-devouring patriarch's bloodline should be completely wiped out. Once Yan Qingying is killed, only the son of God of the Jun family will be left with the god-devouring demonic technique. Mimi Hu thought to himself. She even started to think if there was a way to deal with Jun Xiaoyao. Our saint's sect has passed down from many immortal realms. Although the Jun family is strong, it is not impossible to provoke them, Mimi Hu thought to herself. Moreover, there was no taboo in killing in the immortal ancient world. At that time, if Jun Xiaoyao really entered the immortal ancient world, Mimi Hu might really have some ideas. Just as Mimi Hu was thinking about her next plan, Miao Wuxin spoke. Mimi Hu, if we don't make a move, we won't be able to take down Yan Qingying. Hearing Miao Wuxin's words, Mimi Hu looked over. She realized that although Yan Qingying was in a desperate situation, she had relied on the powerful devouring ability of the god-devouring demonic art to hold on. The moment Yan Qingying's injuries appeared, she used the god-devouring demonic art to devour the enemy's blood to recover. In this short period of time, close to 100 geniuses had fallen. A trapped beast will still fight, Mimi Hu said coldly. She made her move. Saintly jade mark. Mimi Hu waved her jade-like palm, and light flowed, striking out streaks of light marks in the void. Along with powerful dermic powers, it swept towards Yan Qingying. The Saintess has finally made her move. The surrounding geniuses were extremely excited. On the other side, Miao Wuxin also made her move. Mystic Lotus Seal. Miao Wuxin formed a lotus seal and blasted it out. White lotuses appeared in the void, and they were incomparably holy with Buddhist light. As the Saintess of the Little Western Paradise, Miao Wuxin's methods were also very shocking. Both of their cultivation levels were not weaker than Yan Qingying's. Now that they made their moves at the same time, even Yan Qingying's expression changed abruptly. Black Sky Demonic Finger. Yan Qingying used the powerful technique of the god-devouring demonic art. She pointed her jade-like finger, and the black god-devouring demonic chi gathered and turned into a giant pitch-black finger. The fluctuations were extremely shocking. How terrifying! As expected of the successor of the god-devouring demonic art. No wonder the son of God of the Jun family likes her. Feeling the powerful fluctuations of Yan Qingying's technique, the surrounding geniuses who were watching the show were extremely shocked. Jun Xiaoyao's foresight was indeed extraordinary. The people he chose were all outstanding in their own way. Rumble! The void exploded, and the dermic power rippled out in all directions. Yan Qingying spat out a mouthful of blood, and her body retreated violently. Her breathing became chaotic. Yan Qingying was indeed very strong. After devouring the fallen son of God, the Sky Demon Prince, and the others, she had obtained even more powerful talents. However, Beimi Hu and Miao Wuxin were not pushovers either. One was the Saintess of the Sacred Sect, and the other was the Saintess of the Little Western Paradise. The two of them combined were enough to suppress or even kill Yan Qingying. Damn it! If only I could be a little stronger and break through to the true immortal realm. Yan Qingying was furious. She hated herself for being too weak. Yan Qingying die. Beimi Hu attacked again, wanting to kill Yan Qingying completely. A hint of satisfaction appeared in her eyes. The successor of the heaven-devouring demonic lord was finally going to die in her hands. As the saying went, an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye. Sigh, don't blame me for being heartless. Miao Wuxin also wanted to use her ultimate move to kill Yan Qingying. At the same time, she thought to herself, Fahai, I've helped you to settle a part of your karma. As for Jun Xiaoyao, he will eventually suffer retribution. Seeing the two women about to kill, the surrounding group of Sky Prides shook their heads. Looks like the son of God of the Jun family will have one less follower. If you want me to die, you won't have it easy either. Yan Qingying's hair was stained with blood, which made her even more pitiful. To be honest, if not for Yan Qingying's murderous aura, she might have become a goddess in the hearts of these Sky Prides. Yan Qingying also activated her demonic body, preparing to fight to the death. Of course, she also knew that this time she would not be able to survive. Meeting young master in this life is Qingying's greatest fortune. Unfortunately, Qingying can't keep up with young master's footsteps, Yan Qingying muttered in her heart. The terrifying waves of dermic powers were about to collide. Yan Qingying slowly closed her beautiful eyes. It was not that she did not want to resist, but she was powerless. However, the pain of his body being torn apart did not come as he had expected. Many exclamations sounded in Yan Qingying's ears, as if something unbelievable had happened. Then, a familiar voice suddenly rang out. Do you know how to write the word death for those who dare to touch the Son of God? Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 388. Yan Qingying's eyelids trembled as she slowly opened her eyes. A figure that she had been thinking about day and night appeared in front of her. He was still dressed in snow-white robes and stood with his hands behind his back. In Yan Qingying's eyes, the tall and thin figure was like a mountain that she could only look up to. It was as if she had faith in him. Young master. Yan Qingying's voice trembled slightly. She couldn't believe it, as if she was in a dream. Are you all right? I'll help you vent your anger. Jun Xiaoyao didn't turn around but said indifferently. He had always been a protective person. As long as it was someone related to him, even if they had committed a heinous crime, Jun Xiaoyao would protect them to the end. Moreover, in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, Yan Qingying's killing method was nothing out of the ordinary. So what if he killed her? Young master, hearing Jun Xiaoyao's words, Yan Qingying's eyes became slightly blurry. She knew in her heart that although Jun Xiaoyao looked cold and indifferent, he was very cold. But to the people around him, he would protect them to the end. This touched Yan Qingying's heart and made her feel numb. However, on the other side, Bei Mi Hu, Miao Wuxin, and the others weren't in such a good mood. The two of them had shocked expressions on their faces. Because just now, Jun Xiaoyao appeared as if he had appeared in a flash. Therefore, Bei Mi Hu, Miao Wuxin, and Yan Qingying's ultimate moves were equivalent to attacking Jun Xiaoyao at the same time. However, that terrifying wave of magical power seemed to have disappeared without a trace. It didn't even stir up a corner of Jun Xiaoyao. It's the Jun family's son of God. The Jun family's son of God has appeared. The surrounding group of geniuses who were watching the show first froze, then couldn't help but exclaim. Astonishment! Extreme astonishment! No one expected that a few months after the immortal ancient world opened, Jun Xiaoyao actually entered the immortal ancient world. However, the most shocking thing was Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation. These geniuses who were watching the show couldn't see through it. They could only feel a vague pressure pressing down on their hearts like a mountain. That's impossible. The divine child of the Jun family was only in the reaching heaven realm when he was buried. How is it that I, a void god, can't see through him now? The surrounding prodigies were doubting their lives. However, at this moment, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were coldly sizing up Bei Mi Hu and Miao Wuxin. Lei Mingyuan, who had rushed over, shook his head when he saw Bei Mi Hu and the others. He knew that with Jun Xiaoyao's character, the breaking soul cliff would be stained with blood today. The Holy Church, Little Western Paradise. Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. Little Western Paradise was very low-key and mysterious. Jun Xiaoyao didn't know much about the saint, but he had heard about it from the elders in his clan. The foundation of this sect was also very deep. It even spanned across many immortal realms. Their religion believed in the legendary Lord of Gulen. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao didn't believe in these things. The so-called god was just a slightly more powerful person. As long as Jun Xiaoyao had enough time to become more powerful, he could kill any god, Buddha, or Lord of Gulen if he wanted to. Jun Xiaoyao. Bei Mi Hu and Miao Wuxin looked unprecedentedly solemn. It wasn't just because of Jun Xiaoyao's sudden appearance. It was also because of Jun Xiaoyao's current aura, which made them feel pressured. As long as Jun Xiaoyao didn't release his aura, these people with low cultivation levels wouldn't be able to sense it. They could only feel that Jun Xiaoyao's aura was unfathomable, which made them feel pressured. This son of God asks you, do you know how to write the word death? Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly and said calmly. Jun Xiaoyao, I didn't expect you to show up. However, your follower has the devouring god demonic skill and has killed countless people. She bears a great sin, Bei Mi Hu said coldly. After all, she was the saintess of the saint and had a high status. She couldn't be scared to the ground by Jun Xiaoyao. Moreover, there was a saint in the immortal ancient world. The saint's strength had reached the true immortal realm, which was close to Wang Ting and Long Outyin. Bei Mi Hu didn't believe that Jun Xiaoyao wasn't afraid. A great sin. Jun Xiaoyao smirked. He found it ridiculous. Jun Xiaoyao, I tried to persuade her to destroy the devouring god demonic skill, but she refused, so this is the only way. Miao Wuxin put her hands together and shook her head. Destroy the demonic skill? Who do you think you are? What right do you have to ask the Son of God's follower to destroy the demonic skill? Jun Xiaoyao's face was cold. You! Miao Wuxin's face froze. She was extremely embarrassed. As the saintess of the little western paradise, it was the first time she had been treated with such an attitude. Jun Xiaoyao, you are the son of God of the clan of the ancients. Can't you be reasonable? Bei Mi Hu said righteously. The so-called saintess was like that. She stood on the moral high ground and criticized, belittled, and judged others at will. She was smug because of this, thinking that she was noble, holy, and amazing. However, there were many idiots who flattered such a saintess. Yes, even if you are the son of God of the Jun family, you can't be unreasonable. The devouring god demonic skill shouldn't have appeared in the world. The saintess is right. The hundreds of supporters around Bei Mi who spoke in unison, condemning Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's face was expressionless. It seemed that he was not angry. However, those who were familiar with Jun Xiaoyao knew that Jun Xiaoyao was the scariest when he was expressionless. Oh, if that's the case, then this son of God also has the devouring god demonic skill. Are you going to kill this son of God too? Jun Xiaoyao said. His question caused the surroundings to fall silent. Kill Jun Xiaoyao? That was crazy. Let's not talk about whether or not they had the ability to kill Jun Xiaoyao. Even if they had the ability to kill Jun Xiaoyao, not many people would have the guts to do so unless they were crazy. None of the geniuses present thought that they were crazy, so none of them would do such a stupid thing. The Son of God doesn't use the devouring god demonic skill to kill. Of course we can be lenient, Bei Mi Hu said with an unnatural expression. They were obviously afraid of Jun Xiaoyao's strength and identity, but they still had to find an excuse for themselves. Then you're wrong. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed with a strange light. For some reason, Bei Mi Hu, Miao Wuxin, and the others felt their hearts skip a beat. Who told you that this son of God doesn't kill? Now I'll show you what real killing is. As soon as Jun Xiaoyao finished speaking, he raised his right hand. A terrifying storm of magic power swept out, accompanied by surging netherworld energy. Gate of Hell, open! Jun Xiaoyao shouted coldly, like a demon king angering 3,000 worlds. The netherworld energy surged and turned into a gate of hell that was thousands of feet tall in the void. This was the ultimate move of the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant. With supreme power, it opened the gate of hell and summoned countless demons from hell. However, Jun Xiaoyao only had 30,000 draconic elephant granules in his body that had been converted into elemental elephant granules. Therefore, he couldn't fully open the gate of hell. However, even if he only opened a small gap, thousands of evil spirits and rakshasas swarmed out. Like a black tide, they swept towards Bei Mi Hu, Miao Wuxin, and the hundreds of geniuses. No, what is this? Don't come near me. It was a scene of blood and carnage. Hundreds of geniuses were torn to shreds by the tide of evil spirits and rakshasas. Blood rained down from the sky, broken limbs fell, and internal organs splattered everywhere. It was a gory scene. The whole scene was like the 18th level of hell. The geniuses who were watching from afar were all pale and trembling. At that moment, Jun Xiaoyao, who was dressed in snow-white robes, was no longer a divine child who was as transcendent as a deity in their eyes. He had become a true demon king. Chapter 389. If one were to look at Jun Xiaoyao's appearance alone, he would definitely look like a deity that had been banished from the world. However, at this moment, Jun Xiaoyao's methods were incomparably bloody and cruel. With a raise of his hand, he summoned demons from hell and killed hundreds of sky prides. This was no longer a battle, but a complete massacre. In the face of the hundreds of sky prides' cries for mercy, Jun Xiaoyao's handsome face was as cold as ice, without the slightest bit of emotion. Heaven and earth were merciless, and all living things were like straw dogs. In Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, these sky prides were like a bunch of stupid ants. They were not even worthy of pity. Behind him, Yan Qingying watched this scene without the slightest bit of pity in her eyes. Instead, she felt a sense of satisfaction in her heart. These sky prides had been bewitched by the saintess Beimi who to come and kill her, but now they had become pigs and dogs to be slaughtered. To be honest, these sky prides were not unforgivable people. Unfortunately, they had offended Yan Qingying. Jun Xiaoyao did not care whether these people were good or bad. As long as they offended him, they would all die. Yan Qingying's gaze finally landed on Jun Xiaoyao's back. Although Yan Qingying was very competitive, as long as she was by Jun Xiaoyao's side, she would feel an inexplicable sense of security, as if she had become a little woman. Her obsidian eyes were also filled with longing. Jun Xiaoyao was probably the only person who could make Yan Qingying look at him like that. On the other side, sky prides were dying one after another. Beimi Hu and Miao Wuxin were still fighting. After all, their strength was extraordinary, and they were not cannon fodder. Jun Xiaoyao, as the son of God of the Jun family, how dare you use such an evil skill? Beimi Hu gritted her teeth, and her lips turned pale. She was terrified. Under such circumstances, there was no way she could escape. Miao Wuxin was also trying her best to resist. She was no longer as calm and dignified as before. It turned out that in the face of death, the saintess of Little Western Paradise was no different from a mortal. Jun Xiaoyao did not reply. Instead, he looked at Beimi Hu and the others as if they were idiots. Was there really such a stupid moralist in this world? Jun Xiaoyao didn't say anything. His feet flashed and his body moved as if he had teleported. He appeared in front of Beimi Hu and Miao Wuxin. Other than the two of them who were still struggling, the rest of the geniuses were all dead. Their deaths were extremely gruesome. Not good. Mimi, whose expression changed drastically. She hurriedly gathered all of her mana and fought with her life. Holy judgment from the heavens! The heavens surged and holy light fell, making Beimi Hu look like a saintess. Her mana turned into a light beam of judgment and shot towards Jun Xiaoyao. Miao Wuxin was also going all out. Even if she couldn't defeat Jun Xiaoyao, she had to at least find a way to escape. Flower-plucking Buddha hand. Miao Wuxin's jade-like hands formed the shape of a flower and blasted out a Buddhist seal. This was one of the strongest divine abilities of Little Western Paradise. In the face of the two girls' ultimate moves, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were filled with a hint of mockery. He casually stretched out a finger and terrifying lightning energy gathered. In the void, it turned into a giant finger that was covered with lightning runes. It was like the giant finger of the ancient Thunder Emperor, and it crushed out. This was the top skill of the Thunder Emperor's grand mystique, the Thunder Emperor's finger. With a single finger, lightning raged and the void boiled. Lei Mingyuan, who was watching from the side, was so excited that his face turned red. He was about to spiral into the sky. Thunder Emperor's finger, the top skill of the Thunder Emperor's grand mystique. I never thought that I would be able to see this skill in my lifetime. Lei Mingyuan was so excited that his body trembled. For someone like him who had the heavenly lightning body, the Thunder Emperor's finger was tailor-made for him. Of course, even if Jun Xiaoyao didn't have the heavenly lightning body, with his strength, the Thunder Emperor's finger had reached the complete stage and was extremely powerful. Even if Lei Mingyuan had this skill, the power he could unleash would not be comparable to Jun Xiaoyao's. Rumble! The void shook and lightning rippled in all directions. The entire Broken Soul Cliff seemed to have been razed to the ground. Two figures were sent flying while spitting out blood. They were Beimi Hu and Miao Wuxin. They were in a sorry state. Their snow-white skin was charred by the lightning, and they no longer had the looks of a saintess and a Buddha lady. Before the two girls could regain their senses, Jun Xiaoyao's figure flashed and appeared in front of them. Jun Xiaoyao stretched out his hands and grabbed Beimi Hu and Miao Wuxin by their neck. Of these two, one was the high and mighty saintess, the other was the pure and untainted Buddhist lady. However, at this moment they were like two hens that were being held by Jun Xiaoyao by their neck. Jun Xiaoyao's physical strength was strong to begin with. With a casual pinch, the two girls' faces turned red and they couldn't breathe. tears and snot flowed down their faces. It was a mess. The surrounding geniuses who were watching the show were dumbfounded. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have believed that the saintess of the sacred sect and the Buddha lady of Little Western Paradise would be in such a sorry state. They were worse than chickens, not to mention chickens. TSK, this is terrifying. Buddha lady and saintess are all trash in front of the June family's Son of God. Sigh, that's because the June family's Son of God is qualified. If it were you, you would only be a bootlicker. Some of the geniuses sighed. If they had June Xiaoyao's looks, identity, and strength, who would be willing to be a bootlicker? At this moment, Bai Mihu and Miao Wuxin felt a sense of humiliation that they had never felt before. If he had just defeated them, it would have been fine. But now, he was holding them by their neck. June Xiaoyao, don't go too far. I am the saintess of the sacred sect and the sacred child is still in the immortal ancient world, Bai Mihu said as she struggled. She could only threaten him with the sacred sect and the sacred child. June Xiaoyao smiled and tightened his grip. Bai Mihu felt even more suffocated and blood gushed out of her mouth. June Xiaoyao, don't kill me. Miao Wuxin also began to beg for mercy. June Xiaoyao's eyes were filled with mockery. They say that the monks of the Little Western Paradise have seen through life and death. Now, it seems that you are still afraid of death. It's okay. The Son of God will not kill you. June Xiaoyao's words made Bai Mihu and Miao Wuxin feel relieved. But in the next moment, their hearts were completely cold. Qingying, after refining the two of them, your cultivation should be able to break through to the true God realm, right? June Xiaoyao asked. Master, I will definitely be able to do it. Yan Qingying's eyes lit up. The two of them, one was the saintess and the other was the Buddha lady. The spiritual qi in their bodies was surging, and they were not much weaker than the fallen Son of God and the others. Yan Qingying was already at the full circle empty God realm, and it was not difficult for her to break through to the true God realm. No, no! Bai Mihu screamed. She would rather be killed by June Xiaoyao than be refined by the devouring God demon's skill. That is not up to you. June Xiaoyao shook his arms and broke the bones of the two women. He then threw them to Yan Qingying. Yan Qingying raised her hand and executed the devouring God demon's skill. She crushed the bodies of the two women bit by bit and turned them into the purest spiritual qi. This scene made all the geniuses who were watching feel their scalps go numb and goosebumps all over their bodies. Seeing their bodies being crushed and devoured bit by bit was too horrifying. It was the worst way to die. June Xiaoyao looked around and said coldly, everyone must have seen it. In the future, if anyone dares to use the devouring God demon skill as an excuse to target the followers of the Son of God, they will not only be refined by me. The Son of God will also kill all 9 of their families. Chapter 390. June Xiaoyao's tone was cold and domineering as it resounded in all directions. Everyone's heart skipped a beat. Obviously, June Xiaoyao was backing Yan Qingying up. Whoever dared to go against Yan Qingying in the future would have to think twice. If they were not careful, they might bring about the destruction of their clan. No one would treat June Xiaoyao's words as a joke. June Xiaoyao had the confidence to say such words. The June family had destroyed many families, dynasties, and sections. Yan Qingying was even more touched when she heard this. June Xiaoyao had always been thinking for her, and taking care of the feelings of his followers. Yan Qingying's loyalty to June Xiaoyao was no longer needed to be proven. Even if June Xiaoyao wanted Yan Qingying to die, Yan Qingying would not hesitate for even a second. In the end, Bai Mihu and Miao Wuxin were also completely refined by Yan Qingying amidst endless shrill cries. Bai Mihu probably did not expect that a simple revenge would cost her her life in the end. What was even more ironic was that the way she died was the same as the ancestors of the sacred sect. They were all refined by the God-engulfing demonic skill. Perhaps this was fate. After devouring the two girls, Yan Qingying's cultivation level finally broke through to the true God realm. She sat cross-legged at the edge of the broken soul cliff and began to stabilize her cultivation level. Jun Xiaoyao also sat cross-legged in the void and began to comprehend the Rulai mantra in the modern world. Lei Mingyuan was like a loyal servant as he guarded by the side. There was also a sense of pride on his face. He had made the right choice. He did not have to be afraid of immortal sects like the Sacred Sect and Little Western Paradise if he followed the right big shot. He could do whatever he wanted wherever he went. This feeling was simply too great. Lei Mingyuan even felt that even being Jun Xiaoyao's dog was more prestigious than being a genius of other forces. As for the surrounding sky prides, each and every one of them was incomparably shocked. 2 geniuses had fallen just like that. If the saint's son of the saint sect hears this news, he won't let it go so easily. That's right. The saint's cultivation base has reached the true God realm. His strength is on par with Long Aotian and the others. So what? Do you think he can defeat the son of God of the Jun family? His cultivation has already reached the full circle of the true God realm. Ah, that's right. The son of God of the Jun family has once again walked in front of everyone. I really don't know how he cultivates. Perhaps this is life. At the same time, beside the immortal ancient mirror there was dead silence. Many people from different forces kept quiet as they quietly looked in the direction of the saint and Little Western Paradise. An old monk came to Little Western Paradise. At this moment, his expression was very complicated and he was unable to calm down. On the other hand, a red-robed bishop came from the saint. At this moment, the red-robed bishop was trembling. The flesh on his face was trembling. He was obviously furious. The son of God of the Jun family really knows how to cause trouble. He provoked another imperishable sect. Some powerhouses from different forces whispered to each other. On the Jun family's side, Jun Zhantian and other elders did not think that Jun Xiaoyao's methods were inappropriate. The Jun family had always been this overbearing. The Jun family has gone too far, the red-robed bishop of the saints said in a deep voice. In the immortal ancient world, killing is not taboo. If you don't have the ability, don't provoke the Jun family. Otherwise, this will be the outcome. Jun Zhantian's old face turned serious. He did not have the slightest intention of negotiating and directly blocked the red-robed bishop's mouth. You! The red-robed bishop was speechless, because this was the truth. However, the red-robed bishop thought that no matter how overbearing Jun Xiaoyao was, he should have scruples about Bei Mi whose identity. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao did not care about her identity as the saint of the saint at all. This made the saint lose face. Most importantly, it would be difficult for the saint to regain their dignity even if they wanted to. This was because the saint's son might not necessarily be able to defeat Jun Xiaoyao. This was very frustrating. The outside world was shaken because of Jun Xiaoyao's entry into the immortal ancient world. Jun Xiaoyao had only been in the immortal ancient world for a few days, and he had already caused such a massacre. It was hard to imagine what the situation in the immortal ancient world would be like in the future. Many forces that had conflicts with the Jun family were praying that their geniuses would not encounter the demon king Jun Xiaoyao. In the immortal ancient world, beside the broken soul cliff, Jun Xiaoyao sat cross-legged in the void. He had been comprehending the Tathagata Sutra for several days. At this moment, in the divine palace in his mind, a golden Buddha formed by the power of the primordial spirit was suspended in the void. It emitted an astonishing aura that was as terrifying as the grand sun. The Tathagata Sutra in the present world was to refine the power of the primordial spirit and turn it into the Mahavirokana to suppress the world. All soul techniques could not hurt this primordial spirit Mahavirokana. When the Tathagata Sutra was cultivated to the extreme, Mahavirokana would be able to illuminate the 3,000 worlds. By then, Jun Xiaoyao would be able to cover the 3,000 worlds with a single thought. One could well imagine the power of that spirit. It would crush everything. That's right. The Tathagata Sutra alone is already so powerful. If I were to get the past Amitabha Sutra, future Lifeless Sutra, and the 3 generations Celestial Sutras, what kind of power would it be? Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes and looked satisfied. The 30,000 elemental elephant particles in his body had increased his soul power by 3 times. If he were to add on the power of the primordial spirit Mahavirokana, it could be said that even the geniuses who specialized in cultivating the primordial spirit soul could not be compared to him. My goal is to cultivate my physical body, primordial spirit, and dermic powers to the extreme. Only when I am omnipotent will I be invincible, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. At this moment, Yan Qingying, who was consolidating her cultivation, also shook. Her cultivation of the true God realm had completely stabilized. In the immortal ancient world, although the difference between the empty God realm and the true God realm was only 1 realm, the deterrence was completely different. If Yan Qingying had the cultivation of the true God realm previously, Bai Mi Hu and the rest would not have dared to kill her. Thank you for your kindness. If not for you, Yan Qingying would not have been able to break through to the true God realm, let alone break through to the true God realm. Yan Qingying was extremely emotional as she half knelt in front of Jun Xiaoyao. Why are you being so courteous with me? Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and helped Yan Qingying up. Young master. Deep in Yan Qingying's eyes, there was deep affection and admiration. However, she did not show it. She was already lucky enough to be able to stay by Jun Xiaoyao's side and become his follower. Yan Qingying would not ask for too much. Of course, if Jun Xiaoyao could take pity on her, Yan Qingying would be very happy. Are you coming with me? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Yan Qingying's eyes changed. She struggled slightly, but still cupped her hands and said, Thank you for your care, young master. However, Qingying still wants to move on her own to find opportunities. Although staying by Jun Xiaoyao's side was very safe, she would not be able to truly grow. Yan Qingying wanted to become stronger so that she could keep up with Jun Xiaoyao's footstep. Only then would she be qualified to continue being his follower. Very good. My followers are all people who can take charge of their own areas in the future. You can go. Jun Xiaoyao reached out and patted Yan Qingying's shoulder to show his encouragement. Yan Qingying's snow-white face turned slightly red. She nodded firmly and continued to train alone. Her cultivation had also broken through to the true God realm. In the immortal ancient world, she should have the power to protect herself. Next, it was time for Jun Xiaoyao to set off himself. Lei Mingyuan, where else might there be sources of Tao? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Lei Mingyuan said respectfully, Son of God, the most famous place of opportunity in this area should be the immortal ancient Tao Lake. You should be able to find many sources of Tao there. However, the immortal ancient Tao Lake region is mostly occupied by some immortal ancient races and the descendants of the immortal ancient forces. I was not qualified to go near it before. I only heard about it. Lei Mingyuan said embarrassedly. Although he was a genius of the Thunder Emperor Mountain, he was at most a second-tier genius now. He was not qualified to go to those large-scale places of opportunity and treasure. He could only pick up some small opportunities nearby. Immortal Ancient Races. Jun Xiaoyao pondered. Chapter 391. Jun Xiaoyao knew that there were some natives in the immortal ancient world. They were the immortal ancient races. These immortal ancient races had always lived in the immortal ancient world. However, due to the special rules of the immortal ancient world, the powerhouses of the immortal ancient races were unable to leave their land. However, some of the geniuses of the immortal ancient races were extremely strong and were not weaker than the descendants of the immortal ancient forces. Moreover, these geniuses of the immortal ancient races could move freely and were not bound by the rules of the immortal ancient world. Oh right, I heard that the Jun family sequence is at the immortal ancient Tao Lake, Lei Mingyuan said. Is that so? All the more reason to go and take a look, Jun Xiaoyao said. Lei Mingyuan was pleasantly surprised when he heard this. The immortal ancient Tao Lake was a place that he wanted to go but was not qualified to. Now that he followed Jun Xiaoyao there, he could at least drink some soup. It's so worth it. Following the son of God of the Jun family is the wisest choice I have made. Lei Mingyuan was secretly delighted. He was even more determined to be Jun Xiaoyao's guide and servant. The boss ate the meat and I drank the soup. This was a huge profit. Next, Jun Xiaoyao and Lei Mingyuan began to rush to the immortal ancient Tao Lake. News of what happened here began to spread nearby. One could imagine that it would not take long for the news to spread completely. In another area, a beautiful woman in pink clothes was flying through the void at high speed. Her pink dress made her skin look like ice and snow. Her face was beautiful and charming. Her peach blossom eyes seemed to have a charm that could steal souls. Her figure was also very good. She had a full chest and a slender waist. Behind her peach blossom bottom were 6 fluffy and soft foxtails, which added a different kind of charm to the woman. This woman was the Heavenly Fox Clan's holy daughter, Bai Mei. At this moment, there was a moving light in Bai Mei's peach blossom eyes. I finally sensed Brother Ao Tian's aura. Bai Mei touched her face with her jade-like hands with excitement. The immortal ancient world was very big. It was not easy to find a person. Bai Mei only wanted to find her brother Ao Tian. Finally, not long after. Bai Mei saw the handsome and imposing figure that exuded a domineering aura. Brother Ao Tian. Bai Mei's voice was extremely soft and charming as she excitedly shouted. The figure turned around, revealing a handsome face with sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. It was Long Aotian without a doubt. You're Bai Mei. Long Aotian was stunned for a moment before he recalled Bai Mei's identity. It couldn't be helped. He had saved too many beauties, and he had a lot of women. If it wasn't for the 6 foxtails behind Bai Mei's butt, Long Aotian might not even remember who she was. As expected, Big Brother Ao Tian still remembers me. Bai Mei was incomparably happy. Of course, Long Aotian said perfunctorily. Big Brother Aotian, I've missed you so much. I won't leave Big Brother Aotian's side in the upcoming trip to the immortal ancient world. Bai Mei walked to Long Aotian's side, her eyes filled with infatuation. At the same time, Bai Mei also sensed that Long Aotian's cultivation had reached the late stage of the true God realm. To be honest, this realm was already very impressive. At least in the younger generation of the immortal region, it was the best, as expected of the man I've chosen. No one is more powerful than Big Brother Aotian. Bai Mei thought to herself, falling even more in love with him. This. Long Aotian heard Bai Mei's words and his expression became a little unnatural. If this was before, Long Aotian would have happily agreed. There was no reason for Long Aotian to reject a woman's initiative. If he didn't accept, he would be letting down his title as the main character. However, the problem now was that Long Aotian had already set his target. His target was Princess Longji. Now that Bai Mei had come, she would be causing trouble for Long Aotian. Mei, I think I should make it clear to you. Long Aotian suddenly said seriously. Please do, Big Brother Aotian. Bai Mei said. Mei, do you like me? Long Aotian asked. Of course I do. I like Big Brother Aotian the most in the world. Bai Mei's eyes were filled with passion and a strong desire to monopolize him. No one loved Long Aotian more than she did. All right then. Mei, you can be one of my concubines. My target now is Princess Longji. I hope the two of you can get along well in the future. Long Aotian said. What? Bai Mei looked like she had been struck by lightning. She was stunned. Mei, you should know that someone as outstanding as me cannot only have one woman. But it's all right. My love for both of you is equal. There is no difference. Long Aotian said affectionately. As the destined protagonist, wasn't it normal for him to have a harem? As long as a woman liked him, she should know how to share with other women. Although Long Outian had yet to win Princess Longji's heart, to him, Princess Longji would definitely become his woman. Hence, it was better to make some things clear first. Concubine? Why, I'm the one who likes Big Brother Outian the most. Bai Mei mumbled. Her peach blossom eyes seemed to have lost their sparkle. They were empty. It's all right, Mei. I still like you. There is no difference between my love for you and Princess Longji. Long Outian said affectionately as he reached out to hug Bai Mei. Bai Mei took 2 steps back. She couldn't accept it. No woman would be willing to share the man she loved with other women. Hearing these words from Long Outian was even more painful for Bai Mei. Big Brother Outian, you're too much. Bai Mei turned to leave. Mei Long Outian called out. He didn't chase after her. Forget it. She just can't figure it out now. When she does, she'll come back obediently. Long Outian shook his head. He continued to walk in one direction. He could vaguely sense the aura of the dragon bloodline in that direction. That aura, is it from someone else in Zulong, or? Long Outian was deep in thought. On the other side, Bai Mei sped across the sky. Her face was streaked with tears. Big Brother Outian is too much. Too much. I'm the one who loves him the most. What right does Princess Longji have? Bai Mei was about to go crazy. Her personality was sickly to begin with. She gave off a sickly vibe. She couldn't accept Long Outian's universal love. Bai Mei was thinking about Long Outian. She didn't know how far she had flown. When she came back to her senses, she suddenly realized that her surroundings had become extremely dark. No matter how she moved, she seemed to be going in circles. It was as if she had encountered a ghost. Oh no, did I accidentally enter the maze of the immortal ancient world? Bai Mei was shocked. She woke up from her sadness. There were not only some incomplete killing arrays in the immortal ancient world, there were also maze arrays. If one accidentally stepped into one of these maze arrays and couldn't break it, they might not be able to walk out of it for the rest of their lives. No, it can't be. Bai Mei used the Heavenly Fox Clan's theurgy. But no matter how hard she struggled, she couldn't break out of the maze. It's okay. Big Brother Outian knows that I didn't go back to look for him. He'll come and save me, just like before. Bai Mei tried to comfort herself. Bai Mei was so infatuated with Long Outian. It was because in the past, when she was trapped in a maze and was filled with despair, it was Long Outian who was like the true Son of Heaven descending to the world and saving her from the death trap. It was hard to imagine, but when a person was in absolute despair and saw a ray of hope, the feeling of redemption was indescribable. Bai Mei fell madly in love with Long Outian because of this. Bai Mei believed that when Long Outian found out that she didn't go back, he would still come and save her. But what Bai Mei didn't know was that Long Outian was looking for another bloodline and didn't pay attention to her at all. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, in the blink of an eye, 7 days had passed. Bai Mei was still trapped in the maze and Long Outian still hadn't come to save her. It's impossible. Big Brother Outian will come and save me. He can't abandon me. Bai Mei's face was as pale as snow, but she was still determined. At this time, in the sky not far from the maze, 2 figures flew past quickly. It was Jun Xiaoyao and Lei Mingyuan. Why is there a figure walking around in the valley? It looks like the Heavenly Fox Clan's holy daughter, Lei Mingyuan said in surprise as he looked over. The Heavenly Fox Clan's holy daughter, Jun Xiaoyao also looked over.